Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to Cardinal Stadium. It's time for some Bomber soccer. Spring sports season already in the full swing of things. The Mountain Home Bomber soccer team's already completed 6 games. They are 5-1 so far. That lone loss was a 1-0 contest against Batesville at home the other day. We're about 5.5 minutes away from kickoff here. We're going to take a short little break. We're going to give you the latest Bomber update from our great superintendent, Miss Allison Dewey. We'll be back in just a moment, have more information on this game for you here on the Bomber Sports Network.
Hello, Bombers. Today I want to highlight some of the amazing things that have happened across our district this week. On Monday and Tuesday, our Hackler students learned tennis skills during PE thanks to the Twin Lakes Tennis Club. The kids really enjoyed themselves and appreciated the chance to learn from a real tennis pro. On Tuesday, all of our juniors took either the ACT or the ACT Work Keys assessment. As some of you may know, the ACT is generally curriculum-based and used for college placement. The ACT Work Keys is a foundational test where students are able to test their knowledge against general work-ready skills. The students also last week were able to attend an ACT boot camp in preparation for these tests. While our juniors tested, we had about 270 sophomores visit the Baxter County Airport. Representatives from the Leading Edge Aviation Foundation showed them around and also introduced them to a number of aviation-related careers. We so appreciate these expert volunteers who took time to share their love of flying with our kids. On Wednesday, students in Ms. Schaffler's 6th grade science class dissected eyeballs as part of their study of the nervous system. Ms. Schaffler wanted to thank the Mountain Home Education Foundation for the teaching grant that allowed the students to have this experience. Also on Wednesday, our 1st and 2nd graders at Nelson Wilkes got a wonderful surprise thanks to the Junior Auxiliary of Mountain Home. Guest readers from JA and our community read a wonderful grade-level book to each classroom. They also provided a copy of books for each student to take home. Big thanks to JA for always supporting our students and their learning. On Thursday, students in Miss Ellis's and Miss Barrow's math classes at Pinkston Middle School formed the number line. This exercise engaged students in kinesthetic learning, which has proven to increase information retention and improve problem-solving skills. Today we have numerous adult presenters at our junior high campus for the HOSA Health Fair. On the high school campus, we have our annual career fair. I can't express how much this career-connected learning with our area professionals will impact our kids. Like I said before, there are some awesome things happening across the Mountain Home Public Schools campuses. We are so grateful to our community for helping our kids learn and grow. Have a great weekend and go Bombers! But before I go, a special shout out to our awesome Lady Bomber basketball team. They have made it to the 2nd round of the state tournament. We are so excited to cheer you on at 7 p.m. this evening in Searcy. Be there in person or catch it on Bomber Sports Network tonight at 7.
Welcome back to Farmington. Of course, some of that information a little outdated. Lady Bombers already played that game. Getting ready to go here in Farmington. We're about 2 minutes away from the action here from Cardinal Stadium. I imagine they're going to do the starting lineups or some form of introduction of the national anthem and the Pledge of Allegiance and all that good stuff. But in the meantime, we have some things. On behalf of Mountain Home Public Schools, Mountain Home Public Schools is currently accepting applications from students interested in participating in the School Choice Program. School Choice Act 560 of 2015, authorized by the Arkansas General Assembly, empowers parents to seek admission for their children in participating school districts other than their residential district. To be deemed eligible for the approaching school year, applications for the 24-25 term must be received on or before May 1st of 2024, that's this year. Applications should be submitted to the non-resident district, which will then notify the resident district of the filed application. Assignments will be determined based on available space, and applicants will receive notification of acceptance or rejection by July 1st. So again, who wouldn't want to be a Bomber? So we're about a minute and a half away. I think they're having the captains' meetings down below us. Nice little breeze here at Cardinal Stadium, home of the Farmington Cardinals. They're prepared for some big basketball games this week. They have their boys and their girls in the Class 4A state finals. That will take place on Thursday. I believe they're the late games, so I believe that is that's 6 and 8 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. So We'll know the head coach of the Farmington Cardinals for both games tonight. It is Ian Biggs, Mountain Home Bomber legend, at least in his own mind. He will be the head coach tonight for both games. His boys' club has not played a game. His girls' club has not played a game. So it should be a good one tonight. Mountain Home Bombers already somewhat in mid-season form as they're 7 games. This will be game number 7 for them here in the season, as they will start conference play this Thursday against Siloam Springs, as they'll welcome them to Bomber Stadium. Kickoff will start at 4 with the JV contest, and then we'll have the varsity contest after. Not exactly sure on the order of games, but we'll know here hopefully later tonight, if not early tomorrow morning. We'll get that info pushed out to you. Thank you for watching on YouTube, and make sure you download the Mountain Home Bombers Athletics app that is brand new. Get it on Google Play and on the Apple iStore. I believe that's what it's called. I could be fairly mistaken on that, but here in the meantime, we're going to have some district-wide ads for you, and after those are complete, we will bring you Mountain Home Bomber Soccer here on the Bomber Sports Network.
Here's Kyle McCarn, Mountain Home Junior High School principal.
Everybody has a good time at the junior high. We're so proud of what we've been able to accomplish and all of those things. I think the biggest thing we have going at Mountain Home Junior High is just the culture that we have established. We have a ton of teachers and other staff that are encouraged and uplifting and ready for kids to be in our building so they can just create the best environment for learning.
Back here in Farmington, ready to get things going here. I don't believe they're doing the national anthem, so they're just going to set the ball down and get rolling here. Perfectly okay. They're getting into the swing of things here. We'll have to forgive me if there's any viewers from Farmington. We have a roster online from SB Live. It does not have all of the numbers. It looks like it has a few numbers. There's only 5 numbers listed on their roster online. Again, the roster is courtesy of SB Live that we get on the road here. So Farmington will begin with the ball. They will be moving from right to left in front of us here. They'll be going to the goal on the left side of the field. Mountain Home in their road whites. They'll be moving from left to right. They'll be aiming at the goal on the right for the first half. Again, glad you're here with us. I am Dylan Conley on behalf of the Mountain Home School District, bringing you all the action here this afternoon. Very interesting in soccer, for those of you that may be new to the sport. The home team will wear their dark colors. So at home, for Mountain Home, they would wear their blues. In this case, Farmington will wear their reds. Just a neat little caveat to the rules that they have set forth by AAA. It used to be about like every other sport where you would wear white at home, but instead they flipped it around a couple years ago. And Farmington, they're all red home uniforms, red socks, red shorts, red jerseys, assorted colors of cleats. As this one is set over to the keeper, Aiden Sanders. It won't be considered a save, but he'll pick it up, push his defenders back and his front line. He'll kick it away as we're about a minute into this one. High arcing kick. The wind caught that one as the wind is going from left to right as this goes from keeper to keeper, basically. One little touch from Farmington. We'll send it wide as it's fought for. We'll go out of bounds, and it will go to Farmington. Last touch by Mountain Home. Get a big week ahead for Farmington as they have a pair of state basketball championship games to prepare for. Of course, Coach Biggs also on the basketball staff. We are 30 or 2 minutes into this one. Glad you're here with us on the Bomber Sports Network. You couldn't ask for a better day. It's nice and sunny. Maybe one little cloud in the sky. Won't affect the action here. The sun beginning to set. It was about 71 degrees here at kickoff. Here in Farmington, Northwest Arkansas, a hop, skip, and a jump away from Fayetteville. They got a little baseball game going on today over at Baum Stadium. But last I heard, when on the way here, the Razorbacks were losing to the Purple Bears of UCA. I believe that was 2-0. Sorry if that's a spoiler for any of you back home. This will skip back this way. It'll go across midfield along the far sideline. Again, if you may be new to soccer, the boundaries are very similar to a football stadium. They will use the far end zone lines as out of bounds, as those of you that watch basketball be considered the baseline. But on the sidelines, it is a little bit wider than your average football field. It extends about 15 yards each direction on the sidelines. So this is sent into Mountain Home. Will be headbutted out of bounds around the 20-yard line, where Farmington will throw in. So again, if you haven't already seen it, we have released an app that will be your new home to find all information, as this will be a corner kick, I believe, for Farmington. It will be. So the first corner of the day, we'll have more on that in just a moment. As they set it in fairly quickly, it will go out of bounds. It will stay with Farmington, but it'll be further along on the sideline than it was before. This one's sent in along the 10-yard line, about the outside of the 18-yard box. Kelso Hott in pursuit. Keep on to say that's James Douglas, but that's Jacob Bisdell this year. There's James Douglas going to school here in Northwest Arkansas at Fayetteville, University of Arkansas. This is a long pursuit for this one. One-on-one with the keeper. This is skimmed, and it will go into the net. It is a goal for Mountain Home. Off the right foot of David Honvinkel, and Mountain Home has an early 1-0 lead. What a strike from David Honvinkel, and Mountain Home leads 1-0. So Honvinkel boots this one in, and Farmington finds himself down 1-0 here early on in this contest. That was where the wind played a little havoc there, as it is blowing from left to right. It's not a large breeze, but it's enough to make a difference if you get enough air under the ball. So now Farmington trying to respond as they now face a 1-0 deficit here in the first half of action. So those of you interested, we will have some road broadcasts this year for Bomber Soccer. This is one of them. There will be 3 more broadcasts in the regular season on the road. We'll have to wait and see how the state tournaments shake up, as we'll know more here in about a month and a half. But the soccer state tournaments will be down at Hot Springs Lakeside. Just a short 4-hour trip from home. They will be hosted by the Rams of Lakeside. I believe they're going to be hosted by their football stadium, and they have a nice soccer complex. That's nicer than some small schools in football. And they can't wait to see what that looks like, as baseball softball will be held down the road in Harrison. They have done a lot of TLC to those facilities there. 34-16 to go. Some substitutions are ready to check in. I do apologize, any of you watching from Farmington. Don't have a roster on Scorebook Live. We'll check their school website here shortly. This is not our only broadcast of the week. We will have some Lady Bombers softball for you, weather permitting, as we'll have a free kick here just past the 20-yard line. So Mountain Home defenders have to be 10 yards off of the ball as this is sent in right in front of the net. It is knocked away. We'll go back out into the field to play about the 30-yard line. Now goes to the left side of the 18-yard box. Cardinal trying to make a move and a whistle, and offsides is called. So it'll be a free kick for Mountain Home. Aiden Sanders will corral this one up. He will send this one way down the field. Comes down about the 30-yard line. And a whistle and an infraction has been called against Farmington. It will be Mountain Home ball. It's going to be a free kick about the 35-yard line. As the Farmington defenders will have to be 10 yards away from the ball as the kick is on the way. Goes right to the hands of the keeper for Farmington. He'll clear this one out. Coming back the other way is Farmington. They will now cross midfield. Sun's beginning to set as the shadows set in. Coming back, good move past the last defender, and he's going to be called offsides. I think he was off by about maybe a yard and a half. So Mountain Home escapes danger there. Tell us where you're watching. The chat is open on the Bomber Sports Network. Please keep it clean. We don't want to take that away. It's been a good tool of interaction during football and basketball season. Kick is away. Mountain Home trying to be in pursuit of the ball. It will come down to a Mountain Home defender as Kelso Hott was tripped up and an infraction's called. Also known as a foul in basketball or football terms. It'll be a free kick. Jacob Bisdell kicked this one away. This one is sent down the field in front of the 18-yard box. Had a Mountain Home bomber there just out of his reach. It'll be a goal kick for Farmington. So David Honwinkle responsible for the only goal so far in this game. Scored that one about 5 minutes in. This one is set to midfield, about the 45. Scooped down. Wynn caught this one and brought it back. It'll get sent back to the 50. Kelso Hott's going to boot this one ahead. As this will go to Honwinkle. Honwinkle has a defender in pursuit and a whistle, and it'll be a foul against Honwinkle. They're similar to a push-off in basketball. A lot of contact, I think it was. So it'll be a free kick for Farmington along the far sideline. Again, this has become the norm in bigger venues across the state of Arkansas. There is no track on the outskirts of the football field. You'll see a track back in Mountain Home at Bomber Stadium. See, a lot of schools do this. Going on behind us currently, Farmington's a track meet, so I had no idea. This is behind the last defender. As Sanders is out of his net, and it's knocked just wide of the net. A wide open goal for Farmington, and it'll be knocked out of harm's way and be a corner kick for Farmington. So golden opportunity to tie this one up. And it will be for naught, but Farmington will have a corner. It'll be their second corner kick of the game. Mountain Home does not have one yet, but they do have a goal. So the official is going to clear things up. As this will go wide of the net. So the Bombers escape danger. Sanders will kick this one away. Down to about the 50-yard line. It comes down to the foot of a Cardinal. Along the far sideline. Tough to see the near sideline. as it's covered by the front row bleachers. Again, no track here, so that's one of the perils up here if you're watching a game. It's hard to see exactly where the sideline is in soccer. And a whistle and infraction will be another free kick for Farmington. Free kicks away. It's going to be sent laterally to his left. A good shot just wide of the net will result in a goal kick for Mountain Home. So far, 2 shots on goal for Farmington. Only 1 for Mountain Home, but that's all they've needed so far. It was a great attempt as this one is scooted down the field. Low kick. Bounce around the 50, comes down to Kelso Hott. Hott to the near sideline. We'll go to Garrett Barr. Bear now in the corner. Barr, as this will go out of bounds. It will be, I believe, a corner kick for Mountain Home. Looks like it will be Barr to take the corner kick. And we'll have a substitution. Three new Bombers coming in. As they will get placed. Kicks away. It is a short kick. It'll bounce down in front of the net, bouncing straight up in the air. Hott tried to knock it down, and a whistle and an infraction. It will go back to Farmington. Free kick will be about at the 15-yard line, maybe some change. So kicks away. It'll just be a dribbling kick. They're not wanting to play with this wind because there is just enough wind for it to wreak havoc. Coming down the near sideline, it's sent back to the middle, crossed over. This shot is blocked, and it will go safely to the gloves of Aiden Sanders. The all-conference forward turned goalie this year for his senior season. Say, transition, you don't see a whole lot, but he's done a fine job this year. Only allowed 1 goal. Is now on the other end. Mountain Home has an opportunity as this one will go into the net. So another goal for Mountain Home. This is goal number 2 for David Honvinkel. And the Bombers are on the board. It is 2-0 with 25:51 in this one. So Farmington finds themselves at a deficit. So Honvinkel, 1 goal away from a hat trick here early on. Honvinkel's got a lot of goals this year. Don't exactly have don't have an exact number for you. But he's got at least 2 today, so know that. So Mountain Home has 2 shots on goal, and they have 2 goals. It's pretty good odds. As Kelso's going to dance with this one along the near sideline. He's not out of bounds. He stays in, but it goes back down to Farmington. This one's scooted over to the far side. Picked up by Farmington now, moving the other way. We're roughly 15 minutes into this first half. Bombers with a 2-0 lead. David Honvinkel with 2 goals already, as this is now skipped to the far side. Farmington had a good opportunity, but it was knocked away by Austin Gray. But it will be, depending where it went out, I believe it'll be a corner kick. They're setting up like it will be. It will be Farmington's 3rd corner kick of the day. They have not scored on a corner kick yet. The count is 3-1 in favor of Farmington, corner kick-wise. As this one will go into the front of the net, but it's knocked away, picked up by Aiden Sanders. Sanders directing traffic. He will boot this one away. High arcing kick. The wind's going to pick this one up. It's going to bounce down, come down to a Mountain Home Bomber on the far side. It'll go down to, I believe, Bisdell. Now it's skipped back this way. Oh, excuse me, that's Isaac Wiggins. Mountain Home heavy on the press right here, as they will now come back the other way. Farmington with the ball, weaving through traffic across the 50-yard line. They're still making ground. Now they just get to the edge of the 18-yard box, try to scoop it in front and cross it, but it comes back down to 2 Farmington jerseys as this will go out of bounds. And it will be a goal kick for Mountain Home. Looked like it went off the foot of a Mountain Home Bomber, but the official thought otherwise, and the assistant referee thought otherwise as well. So Sanders will tee this one up. High arcing kick. This one's going to go right down the middle of the field. Came down to a Farmington Cardinal. Now Mountain Home in pursuit of this one. This is a good opportunity, but Farmington will knock this one away. It looks like that'll be probably a goal kick. Yeah, it is. Hey, make sure I get that back. Thank you. Had to, forgot I had some equipment needed for our girls' soccer team. Had a bag of balls and some cones in the back. I'm sure they'll need those for the warm-up. Coach King's girls off to a 7-0 start, or a 7-0 start. Couple good wins over some 5A opponents. They beat Whitehall 3-0. They beat Batesville. I can't remember. It was by a couple goals. Got away from a good Cave City team with a 1-0 win as a Cardinal is tackled just outside the 18-yard box. It will be a free kick from the 10-yard line on the football stadium, but about 23 yards away from the goal. Mountain Home will set up their wall. The official will back them up 10 yards away from the ball. Don't have a number for this Cardinal. Again, their names are in Scorebook Live, but that doesn't really help. As this free kick is on the way, just sails over the net. It will be a goal kick for Mountain Home. As we are 21-37, there's 21-37 left in the game. Or in the first half, excuse me. So they're going to say that that was tipped, so it'll be a corner kick for Farmington, their 4th. This bounces in front of the net, takes a high bounce. It will come down to a Cardinal, now go back to a Bomber. And now the Bombers will be on the counterattack as there's just a flat-out tackle, as it looks like the official will call him over as they will stop the time, and he will get a yellow card. He will have to exit the game. So that is the first booking of the day. It will be a goal kick for Farmington. So Sanders will kick this one away. After the yellow card, they have stopped the time. They will resume the time on the referee's whistle, which was just now. And this is a far kick. It will bounce down back at the 20. And glad you're here with us on the Bomber Sports Network and on the Mountain Home Athletics app. Those of you watching around the world. About halfway through this first half. They play 2 halves in soccer, 40 minutes long each. If the game gets to the end of regulation in a tie, then we will just end at a tie. There are no penalty kicks until you get to the state tournament. They changed that rule a couple years ago. It looks like another corner kick for Farmington. So that's corner kick number 5. Has not resulted in a goal yet. This high arcing kick will go to the back of the 18-yard box. It's now spread to the other side of the 18-yard box. Shuffled back this way. Farmington working the wrong way as this will go out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Mountain Home on this near sideline. Again, apologize. The end of the football bleachers cover the near sideline here just barely. Hard to see the person throwing in on this side. Mountain Home on the counterattack. They're going to push ahead. They tried to skip it ahead, but it was knocked away by a couple Cardinals. They're trying to get to Austin Lunnan. Now the ball will come back this way. Good attack by Farmington. Now he's one-on-one with the keeper. Shot on goal is scooped up by Aiden Sanders. He had to make sure. So that is the 4th shot on goal for Farmington. As this one is sent down the field. It's going to rattle around about the 35, and a whistle and a push is called. It will go to Mountain Home, be a free kick about the 35, maybe somewhere around the 35 to the 40. Not exact. That's the Cardinal faithful, not fans of that call. It's a lot easier to hear the fans at soccer than, say, football or basketball, as the clock is still running, as they're going to allow some substitutions to come in. Kelso Hott will come back into the game. Ball will be at the 36-yard line, as Jacob Bisdell will kick this one away, the 5'10", 140-pound sophomore. Always find it amusing when weights are listed on SB Live, regardless of the sport. Usually the only time you care about a player's weight is, football, maybe, well, actually wrestling's the number 1 sport, but you're not. If a soccer player is 140 or 160 pounds, it doesn't just make a whole lot of difference. Ball still skipping around to the left side of the 18-yard box for Mountain Home. Enough, Mountain Home is getting outshot 4-2, but they lead 2-0. Those are shots on frame, by the way. As Farmington turns it over, comes back to the middle, bouncing around the 35. Now it's skipped back to the 40. Now Farmington rushing ahead. Throw a little razzle-dazzle on him, but Kelso Hott was not fooled by that one as he scoops this one to the far side. Mountain Home coming back the other way as this one's knocked away. Farmington picks it up. At 16:40 to go in this first half of action. It will be a 10-minute halftime. Coming back the other way, Farmington's got a good attempt here. A lot of contact, and we might have a penalty kick. And we will have a penalty kick. Believe they will have to stop the clock as we have a bomber down on the far side. As Coach David Martin and Coach Kreiner will head over to the aid of that bomber. Don't want to say who it is yet until it's for sure. It looks like some sort of leg injury. Whoever it was in pursuit of the ball, and they probably got hit weird. And it'll be a penalty kick for Farmington as the clock is now stopped with 16:15 to go. As they will take, again, don't want to prematurely name someone. But we're getting ready for a penalty kick now. Don't know who this is for Farmington. Actually, let's check their mascot media site. Let's see if there's a roster here while they set up for this kick. Yeah, there's no roster on there, so yeah, we do apologize, but we have all the information we can 16-15 to go. Farmington with a chance to cut the lead in half here on the Bomber Sports Network and Mountain Home Athletics app. Sanders ready. Basically what he wants to try to do is just pick a side and hope he's right. Kick is on the way. It is good. And it is a goal for Farmington. They have cut the lead in half off the penalty kick. So with 16-15 to go, the lead for Mountain Home has been cut in half. Was the correct call. There was a lot of contact in the box, so Mountain Home will try to preserve this lead as a couple of Cardinals will sub in. Two to 1 our score. Of course, Farmington playing in the 4A West. They'll begin conference games here next week. As kick is away, Mountain Home will try to respond. Mountain Home will start 5A West Conference play later this week as they will take on Siloam Springs. They'll welcome the Panthers to Bomber Stadium. We will have that one live streamed for you. That will be on the Bomber Sports Network. There will be no commentary. It will be from our Huddle Focus camera. As this kick is away, we'll go to the far side. Farmington comes up with the ball. 15:32 to go in this first half. Mountain Home with a 2-1 lead. As now sprinting ahead behind the Bomber defense is a Cardinal. But this shot will go wide of the net. It will be a goal kick. So actually, I'm going to say it's a corner kick. Looked like it was last touched by a Cardinal, as this one will go in the net. So just like that, in about a span of a minute and a half, actually 26 seconds, Farmington has tied this ball game. So it's a brand new ball game now, as, well, my math failed me there. In the span of a minute 20, Farmington was down 2-0. They are now tied with Mountain Home 2-2. So this will go out of bounds and be a throw-in for Mountain Home. And momentum fully swung in the favor of Farmington at the moment. They're firing on all cylinders. Ball be skipped to the far side. Now it comes back to the middle. As that was Dirks Beauregard with the ball. And a whistle, and we couldn't tell what he called. It is an infraction. It will go against Farmington. And it'll be a free kick for Mountain Home. Good kick, sent to the outside of the 18-yard box. This will be, keeper thought about scooping it up, but he's going to let it go. It'll be a goal kick for Farmington. Again, back-to-back goals in about a minute 15 stretch has tied the game for the Cardinals. Farmington will kick this one away. Kicks away, it'll bounce at about the 20. Comes down to the foot of a Bomber, Garrett Barr. So Barr trying to make something happen here. As swarmed by a bunch of Cardinals, now comes back this way, cross to the far side. As they will send it wide of the net, it'll be another goal kick for the Cardinals. And we have a whistle, and a Bomber is down about the 10-yard line. And can't tell who it is, but we don't want to speculate. We don't want to give anyone a heart attack back home. 13:07 go. Clock has been stopped to address the injury. Coach Kreiner and David Martin will work their way over. They have whoever it is up. So 13:07 to go in this first half. Mountain Home once had a 2-goal lead for they scored in the first 5 minutes. Then they scored 10 minutes later, and then Farmington, they had a fortuitous call go their way. It was the right call to award them a penalty kick to make it 2-1, and then about a minute later off a corner kick, they tied the ball game. So they have the injured Bomber off. So the clock is now running once again. Farmington with the ball. They will send it across the field. Goes to the far side. They're going to say it went out of bounds, so it'll go back to Mountain Home. So the throw-in will go to about the 30-yard line. Try to come down to Hott. Comes back this way. Good look at it by the official. There is a infraction called. It will go to Mountain Home, be a free kick about the 35-yard, even with the 35-yard line. It will be out of bounds on the football field, but still inbounds on the soccer field. This kick is away. It will go to the front of the 18-yard box. Came down to a Cardinal, headed out of danger. Now goes back in, and it will be a goal kick for the Cardinals with 12:06 to go. As the filmers have arrived for Coach Kreiner, we'll get them set up here. So we got them set up. 11:30 to go in this one. Mountain Home had a 2-0 lead. Gave up a penalty kick and then a goal off a corner kick off a freak bounce. Okay, the Bomber boys playing first. The JV boys were victorious 2-1. They were down 1-0 and then scored 2 goals in rapid succession. It skipped into the 18-yard box. Comes down to the foot of a Bomber. It is Zane Tunning. Or excuse me, Jonathan Hernandez came down to him. Had the JV numbers up on accident. Jonathan, a 5'9" junior. As this comes down to a Bomber. Tried to send it in. Good attempt outside the 18-yard box by Honwinkle. With 10.5 to go in this first half. And they play 2 40-minute halves, and we have a whistle, and they're going to let some substitutions in. 10:20 to go. It's about or the AAA handbook, it's supposed to be anywhere from a 10 to 15-minute halftime. Usually hovers around 10. But when that halftime begins, we will check stats, and then we will have our Bomber update with Miss Allison Dewey coming up for you at halftime. There is a little bit of outdated information in it, and a whistle and a foul about the 27-yard line on the football field. The end of it, we'll talk about the Lady Bomber basketball game taking place tonight, as that was pre-recorded. That was last Friday, but it has a lot of valuable information of things that are going on here in the Mountain Home School District. So 2 goals from Honwinkle, as this one is sent a good-looking ball. Will hover over the net. Wind caught that one. It was good off the boot but the wind just caught it and just carried it. So it'll be a goal kick as the keys to my car have been returned. Thank you. About lost an eye as the Lady Bombers have picked up their equipment from the car on the way here, as this will roll safely right to the hands of Aiden Sanders. Didn't go over the goalie description. Aiden is he's worn this most of the year. It is an all blue uniform with a white stripe along the shoulders, white and gray. The shoulders are black. He has a black and white number 1 on him with blue socks. It's a different blue. It's more teal that he has on, but bomber blue socks. The keeper for Farmington, bright green, looks like a big old Sharpie with black pants and black and white cleats. Looks like football cleats almost, as this is knocked out of the 18-yard box. It was another corner kick for Mountain Home. That is the third corner kick for Mountain Home. Farmington has had 6 so far, with 7:58 to go in this first half. Still 2-2 our score here from Cardinal Stadium in Farmington. Fairly decent crowd on hand below us. Kind of spread out. Nowhere near a football crowd here. Farmington's football team is pretty good this year. They took down, who was it? It was an upset. I believe it was Shiloh Christian that they took down. Shiloh Christian, of course, moving up. He'll be in Mountain Homes Conference this coming year for the next cycle. Farmington with the ball now. As we have a whistle and an infraction, it'll go against Mountain Home, as it was Zane Durack got a little too physical. As this kick is sent down the field, it comes down to the boot of a Bomber. That is Jacob Bisdell. Adrian is Jacob's brother, currently at U of A. I believe U of A. I could be wrong. If he's watching, you can let me know otherwise. Farmington will throw in here, 6:54 to go in the first half. Mountain Home had a 2-0 lead, and then Farmington came back to tie it in the span of a minute and a half. And a whistle and more contact. It'll be a free kick just to the left of the 20-yard line. Mountain Home setting up their wall. First, we have a Cardinal changing his cleats up, adjusting his cleats. He will line the ball up on the 19-yard line on the football field. As this kick is away, it will go to the left of the wall and the left of the goal. It will be a goal kick. Aiden Sanders will send this one away with 6:05 to go here in the first half of action. And a whistle and some substitutions will be waved in for Mountain Home. .551 here again. This is Farmington's first game of the year out of the 4A West. They'll be moving up to 5A next year. Mountain Home comes into this game 5-1. Their lone loss to Batesville, a 5A East opponent. Lost that one 1-0. Out of contact along the near sideline. Farmington faithful wanting a foul, as it will come back this way, slicing and dicing through traffic. Made 2 guys miss, now made a third miss, but not a fourth one, as this will go wide of the net with 5:10 to go in the first half. And coming up at halftime, we will have the weekly Bomber update, the most recent Bomber update from Superintendent Miss Allison Dewey. She'll talk about a lot of things with our aviation program. At the end, she will have a little bit of outdated information, but we will update the Bomber update every week, as it will talk about the Lady Bomber basketball game that will take place tonight. It will not take place tonight. That's already taken place against Valonia. And congratulations, Coach Dell Leonard and Josh Fulcher, on 2 excellent seasons. First time that the Bombers and Lady Bombers have both had a winning season in the same year since 1993. Glad you're here with us on the Bomber Sports Network as we're approaching halftime. Farmington with the ball across midfield. will go to the far side along the sideline in front of the Bomber bench. Mountain Home Bombers bench is a very untraditional bench here at Farmington. The visiting bench on the far side and the home bench is here over on the near side. It is well within the confines of the rules. Be a free kick. Aiden Sanders will come out of goal and kick this one away at the 20-yard line with 3:35 to go. High arcing kick. A lot of contact. Kelso Hott wanting a foul. He got pushed in the back. Official didn't see it or didn't want to call it, either one. Now Farmington comes up with the ball. Now they'll push ahead. Mountain Home had 3 guys back to intercept that one. Now Mountain Home on the counterattack. A lot of contact, whistle, and we're going to have another card, it looks like. The official going to his shirt pocket, as it'll be the second yellow card of the game. It will go against Farmington with 2:58 to go. The clock is supposed to be stopped, but it's still running. So it is a yellow card, the second yellow card of the game. Getting a yellow card is very similar and essentially like a technical foul in basketball. You can get one, but you don't want to get 2 because they will ask you to leave. Run the ball game. They finally have stopped the clock. They will resume it on the official's whistle. First contact with the ball, actually, as this one's sent right to the middle of the 18-yard box. Takes a wicked bounce. Comes right down to the keeper of Farmington as he will lightly push away Jonathan Hernandez. As this kick is caught by the wind and brought backwards, back towards the net that Mountain Home was shooting on. As Farmington will go back to the left side across midfield now. 2-2 our score, 2:18 to go in the first half of this non-conference game. Of course, Mountain Home will open 5A West Conference play this Thursday as they will welcome Siloam Springs to town. Siloam Springs, a soccer-rich area. Big, rich tradition in soccer. Last year, unbelievably, was the first year in the history of their soccer program that they did not make the state tournament. Of course, it was not too long ago that they were playing for multiple state tournaments in a row, both boys and girls. Brent Crenshaw was the head coach for those teams. He's now, I believe, at Fayetteville. As this will be a corner kick for Mountain Home, by the way. It'll be corner kick number 4. Crenshaw made himself at home in the state finals a lot. There will be a lot of times he was coaching back-to-back games. He coached the boys and girls. As this will come down, Hott wasn't ready for it. It'll be scooped over the net through the field goal uprights, and it'll be a goal kick for Farmington with about 1:10 to go. So Farmington will kill some time here. Kick this one away. This one will bounce about the 35 to the 40. It's going to keep rolling right around the Cardinal logo. 54 seconds to go. A lot of contact at the 20. Jonathan wanting a foul, and it's well, Jonathan got pushed down, but the foul's against him. Yeah, it's not like basketball. You can foul as many times as you want. Eventually the official will give you a card or eject you, either one. As this was kicked, knocked out of play, will be a throw-in for Mountain Home with about a half minute to go. So Mountain Home with 3 shots on goal. They've scored 2 goals on that. As we'll have a free kick, 15 seconds to go. As Mountain Home not pleased with that, as they were setting up for a free kick. Farmington just knocked it away. To 5 seconds to go. This was a good-looking ball, but it's headed away by Farmington. That's going to do it for the first half. So through one half of play, Mountain Home had a 2-0 lead, and then they gave away 2 goals in about a span of a minute and a half. So it is time for halftime. As I believe it will be a 10-minute halftime. They will let the teams get to their respective benches before they run that clock. Making a couple stats, number 17 for Farmington has 2 goals. David Hondwinkle has a pair of goals themselves. As Farmington will head to the locker room. Actually, they're fancy over here. They have a nice big field house. They'll go talking there as Mountain Home will head to their sideline in front of the visitor bench, as they still haven't started the halftime clock. As soon as they start halftime, we will bring you the Bomber update. Again, there will be a little out-of-date information at the end of this in regards to the Lady Bomber basketball game. They will say take place tonight. It took place last week, but there's a lot of other useful information in that. So we're going to go ahead and actually we're going to send you to that right now, as for whatever reason they are not starting the clock. But we're going to take a short little break. 2-2 our score. Bombers find themselves in a dogfight here in Northwest Arkansas. This is Bomber Soccer on the Bomber Sports Network.
Hello, Bombers. Today I want to highlight some of the amazing things that have happened across our district this week. On Monday and Tuesday, our Hackler students learned tennis skills during PE thanks to the Twin Lakes Tennis Club. The kids really enjoyed themselves and appreciated the chance to learn from a real tennis pro. On Tuesday, all of our juniors took either the ACT or the ACT Work Keys assessment. As some of you may know, the ACT is generally curriculum-based and used for college placement. The ACT Work Keys is a foundational test where students are able to test their knowledge against general work-ready skills. The students also last week were able to attend an ACT boot camp in preparation for these tests. While our juniors tested, we had about 270 sophomores visit the Baxter County Airport. Representatives from the Leading Edge Aviation Foundation showed them around and also introduced them to a number of aviation-related careers. We so appreciate these expert volunteers who took time to share their love of flying with our kids. On Wednesday, students in Ms. Schaffler's 6th grade science class dissected eyeballs as part of their study of the nervous system. Ms. Schaffler wanted to thank the Mountain Home Education Foundation for the teaching grant that allowed the students to have this experience. Also on Wednesday, our 1st and 2nd graders at Nelson Wilkes got a wonderful surprise thanks to the Junior Auxiliary of Mountain Home. Guest readers from JA and our community read a wonderful grade-level book to each classroom. They also provided a copy of books for each student to take home. Big thanks to JA for always supporting our students and their learning. On Thursday, students in Miss Ellis's and Miss Barrow's math classes at Pinkston Middle School formed the number line. This exercise engaged students in kinesthetic learning, which has proven to increase information retention and improve problem-solving skills. Today we have numerous adult presenters at our junior high campus for the HOSA Health Fair. Out on the high school campus, we have our annual career fair. I can't express how much this career-connected learning with our area professionals will impact our kids. Like I said before, there are some awesome things happening across the Mountain Home Public Schools campuses. We are so grateful to our community for helping our kids learn and grow.
Back here at halftime here in Farmington, we're actually going to give you a little special presentation here. We do have something new that has rolled out here, as we'll have the score displayed for you there. We do have a new website and an app available where you can get all your Mountain Home athletics information all in one spot. As trying to get the clock right on here, 7:07 to go. As the Mountain Home Athletics app and mhbombersports.com has launched earlier this week. You'll be able to get all kinds of information here. Very cool thing. If you haven't checked it out yet, you need to. So you'll see right there at the top, you'll see Farmington versus Mountain Home High School soccer. Anytime there's a broadcast, it will have something here on the top bar. You'll be able to check out all kinds of different things on the website and the same thing on the app. So we'll take a look at we'll have Lady Bomber Soccer. So we'll take a look at, if you want to know when do they play, well, here's their full schedule. You have Whitehall that they beat in the championship game of the Southside Invitational. Taking on Farmington tonight, they will have Siloam and Harrison coming up here in the next week and a half. Those will be at home, but it has game times. If you see it's at 7 o'clock, that means they're the second game. If they're at 5 o'clock, they're the first game, which usually means there's JV associated with them as well. But right now, we're in the meat and cheese almost of the conference season, as they're off to a good start, 7-0. You can take a look at the roster. We don't have photographs yet of these athletes, but as soon as we get them, we'll get that uploaded. But you can take a look if you're watching a soccer game online and you're watching along and you don't know who number 11 is. Well, you can go on there. You can see that it's Kelsey Blackwell, a junior, plays center mid, wearing number 11, and has our entire roster on there along with our coaching staff. Well, there's other great things on here. You'll be able to get news last night, like there was a little update last night. The Lady Bombers softball team had a walk-off victory, just some stats there from that one. So a lot of great things on there. Check out our facilities, the hangar, Bomber Stadium, of course, the home of the Bomber soccer teams. Indoor baseball, softball complex, the gymnasium, McLean Family Park. You can check out more information on there. And then there's even a link when you click academics that it will send you to the school website. But other things you can check out the broadcast tab right now, as the software we're using to view this won't let you watch it natively. But you can check out on the right side the upcoming broadcasts. Over here on the right, Bomber varsity soccer against Farmington. Lady Bombers taking on Farmington here soon. There are 2 others scheduled for this week, as we'll have Bomber soccer for you. That'll be on the Huddle Focus. We won't have any announcers with that. You'll have the stadium announcer during that one. And then Friday, weather permitting, and it sounds like weather will not permit, but we'll keep you updated on that. Lady Bomber softball team will head to Springdale in northwest Arkansas for another non-conference tilt there. So, yeah, a lot of exciting things. You can download it on the App Store. Let's see if we can get they sent us the nice folks at Mascot Media who've done an outstanding job getting this ready for us. We've just put in the information. They sent us a nice flyer where you can scan a QR code with your phone and you can download the app to your phone. You can even visit the website. Let's see if we can get this up on the screen for you. You can scan the QR code. It's the beauty of live sports online. I was forgetful. I thought in my head, yeah, it'd be a great idea if we showed that on screen. So, yeah, there it is. So, yeah, you can keep up all things with schedules, rosters, broadcast. You even get alerts. You'll even get final score alerts and any other alerts associated with any teams you watch. So at the completion of this game, you'll get a score update finding out how this one went. Never will you have to wait for the Baxter Bulletin, the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette to come out to find out how the Bombers do last night. And there'll be no question how they did. It's always correct. You can scan the QR code on the bottom left, or you can visit mhbombersports.com or search in the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Just Mountain Home Athletics and Mountain Home Bomber Sports. So we'll take another short little break. About 3 minutes left here in halftime. We have some ads provided to us from KTLO for the Mountain Home School District. Talk about a few of our buildings across the district and a few other things involving school choice. Actually, we'll go ahead and read that now about school choice, a big topic of conversation. Mountain Home Public Schools is currently accepting applications from students interested in participating in the School Choice Program. Would you like to be a Bomber? The School Choice Act 560 of 2015, authorized by the Arkansas General Assembly, empowers parents to seek admission for their children in participating school districts other than their residential district. To be deemed eligible for the approaching school year, applications for the 2024-25 term must be received on or before May 1st of 2024. Applications should be submitted to the non-resident district, which will then notify the resident district of the filed application. Assignments will be determined based on available space, and applicants will receive notification of acceptance or rejection by July 1st. So again, who would not want to be a Bomber? That is our school choice message. We will take a short little break. We'll bring you the second half of action from Cardinal Stadium. This is Bomber Soccer on the Bomber Sports Network and the Mountain Home Athletics app.
Here's Kyle McCarn, Mountain Home Junior High School principal.
Everybody has a good time at the junior high. We're so proud of what we've been able to accomplish and all of those things. I think the biggest thing we have going at Mountain Home Junior High is just the culture that we have established. We have a ton of teachers and other staff that are encouraged and uplifting and ready for kids to be in our building so they can just create the best environment for learning.
talking with Jeff Kincaid, Guyberry principal.
Guyberry, we started 12 years ago for the school district to have our own alternative learning environment, and we've really grown since then. We've come a long way. We've had 3 state ALE Teachers of the Year. Mr. Tim Harris won that award 2 years ago, and then this year at State ALE Convention, he was appointed to the Arkansas Association of Alternative Educators State Boards. We're proud to have him on there. It's really been a big blessing.
Now we're back here in Farmington, ready to get things going here. The officials have made their way back on the field as they turned off the horn on the scoreboard now. I don't believe you're supposed to have it on. So we're ready to get things going here in the second half. I want to shout out to Jeff Kincaid. He is retiring later this year. Wish him the best as he will finish out his contract at Guyberry. He's done an excellent job, served numerous roles throughout the district, but want to shout him out. Wish him the best in retirement. Was my junior high principal. And I believe I was in junior high about, let's see, do some math here, probably about 16 years ago. And he was around a long time then too. So as the teams are getting final instruction, here's our road soccer broadcast we have scheduled. We're here at Farmington today, then on March 14th, next week, we will be at Van Buren next Thursday, and then we will hit the road to Harrison about a month and a half from now on the 16th, and then we will be at Greenwood on the 26th of April. That'll be close to the end of the regular season for Mountain Home. In fact, I don't believe there's too many games left after that. Let's take a look at about MHBombersports.com. We could look at the schedule right there. All one place, no longer where you have to try to find paper copies of the schedule, as there are 2 games after that. They will be at Smith Robinson Stadium in Greenwood, then they'll have Greenbrier on the road, and then they will welcome Alma to Mountain Home for senior night. It feels like a long time away, but it's right around the corner, believe it or not. This is sent back to Sanders. They flipped ends of the field. Mountain Home will now be going from right to left in front of you here. Farmington will now be going from left to right. They'll be shooting at the goal on the right. Mountain Home shooting at the goal on the left as this skips behind a defender. And it goes down to the foot of Colin Forsyth for Mountain Home, a senior. Batted away by Farmington. Now in pursuit of the ball is Farmington. Now they're on the counterattack. They have a decent counterattack as Sanders will retreat to the box and scoop this one up, as we're about 40 seconds into this first half, or the second half. I've here from Cardinal Stadium. It has gotten a little chillier here. It is still 62 degrees. The wind's picked up. Still a beautiful night for soccer, however. Up to a high of 71 degrees. It was unbelievable to think about 3 weeks ago. We had about 4.5 inches of snow on the ground. So how quickly things can change. Mountain Home with the ball. It is knocked out of bounds. Barr had it knocked away. He will throw in on the far side. Actually, he's going to stop it, wait for somebody else to come throw it in. Right about even with the 18-yard box. They'll throw it into the box. Try to get it to Hott. It wouldn't come down to him. As now in pursuit was Zane Durack. Couldn't corral it. Now Farmington's on the counterattack, but this one, it'll stay inbounds. Actually knocked away by Mountain Home. And it'll be a throw-in for Farmington. Once again, moving from left to right on the screen in front of you here. Glad you're here with us on the Bomber Sports Network or on the Mountain Home Athletics app. Big new thing we've pushed out here in the last couple days. The big offense, I believe the Mountain Home Bomber baseball team will be in action tomorrow. They'll take on Elkins. That'll be at Prairie Grove. Don't ask me to spell Prairie, as this one is right down to the foot of a Cardinal, but he is called offsides regardless of what had happened. Don't ask me to spell Prairie. Prairie Grove is one of those, you think it's easy to spell, then you try to spell it. And then there's an extra R that's in there that you wouldn't think should be in there, but it is. So it's easy to say, but not all that could be just a tad illiterate, just in that one sense. But Kelso Hott comes up with the ball. He will go to the far side. Now bring it back this way to Durack. Durack will set it in front, and this one is set towards the net. Had a lot of backspin on it. It was a wide open net, and it was knocked away. Good attempt by Colin Forsyth. Just took a funky bounce and actually a funky spin, as this will go back to the middle to Durack. Mountain Home pushing higher up now. They've moved their back line of defense up about 10 yards. Trying to force Farmington to a mistake or catch them on their heels. 36-36 to go in this ball game. That will be all the time we have. As this is knocked away, it'll be a goal kick for Mountain Home, as they were jostling for position. So free kick for Mountain Home. Aiden Sanders points to the sky. He will kick this one away. It's a grounder. Goes down to about the 30. Now it returns back to the 20. Goes to the hands of Sanders. Bounces off his hands and hits off the football goalpost, which will be a corner kick for Farmington. That's the 7th corner kick of the ball game coming up here. So again, the football crossbar, if the ball hits that, that is considered out of bounds. There are a handful of places that they don't have the goalpost up for football during soccer season. But if you ever see the ball go off the football crossbar, that is out of bounds. As this corner didn't come down to anyone, it'll go along the near sideline. Farmington trying to push this one away. Actually push it towards their goal. Mountain Home trying to push this one away. It'll go out of bounds even with the 20. And it'll be a throw-in for Farmington. And a whistle and an illegal throw-in. It'll be a throw-in for Mountain Home. So the rule on that, those you may not know, the ball has to be thrown with two hands, and it has to clear the crown of whoever's head. So that means the back of their head. So you have to see it to understand it, but has to cross basically the back of their head with two hands. And if it doesn't do that, like if you just like chest pass it or it doesn't clear the crown of your head, then it's just goes the other way. That's the second one we've seen of those this game. Farmington back on the counterattack. The ball's just been fighting around the middle third. Now Farmington trying to launch an attack as this is sent right to the middle of the 18-yard box, but knocked away. I believe that was Wiggins that knocked it away. Isaac Wiggins stepping in the middle of that one. Farmington launching a pretty stout attack so far to start the second half. They've turned up the aggression. Cardinal makes a man miss, and it will be kicked out of bounds. Actually, it'll stay in bounds, go right down to the feet of a Farmington Cardinal. Again, we apologize. We don't have roster numbers for these young men. We just have a roster full of names. This is scooped up by Sanders, as he'll set this one down. A dangerous play, as it's essentially a place kick, but he set it down. But as soon as he put it down, anyone can kick it, as we'll have a push. It'll be a foul against Farmington. Actually, it'll be a foul against Mountain Home. Excuse me, the referee pointed the wrong direction. It'll be a free kick. It will be spotted about between the 43 and the 44 on the football field. So another free kick. This one's scooped down to the middle. It will come back. Kelso Hott in pursuit. Kelso gets tripped. They're wanting a foul there, but they won't get one. It will stay inbounds on the near sideline. Running up the near side is Farmington. They will cross it back to the middle, and it's knocked away. Might have got away with a handball. There were two Cardinals that were wanting one, but the officials saw otherwise. And a familiar face coaching Farmington's boys and girls. The girls' game will be after this one. Take place about probably 50 minutes or so from now. They are led by head coach Ian Biggs. Ian Biggs, a Mountain Home graduate. Later he came on home to lead our 7th grade girls basketball program and then be Dell Leonard's assistant for a couple seasons. I think it was actually one season. And he came over to Northwest Arkansas to be boys and girls soccer coach and high school basketball assistant, along with another Mountain homie, Ryan Finley. Don't know if he's here tonight, but they got a big game coming up this week. They'll take on Little Rock Christian's boys. Probably by far the two best teams in 4A. That game they'll tip off on Thursday, I believe Thursday. Let's see what the Arkansas Activities Association website is. That'll be a good game. Let's see the schedule. Yes, that will tip off 7:45 p.m. as this is a good attempt. Oh, my goodness, as we have a whistle and a foul. Sanders got bowled over when he had the ball. It's going to be a penalty as now we have a Bomber and a Cardinal going face-to-face as they're going to send off number 7 for Farmington. Sanders very clearly had the ball. He could have pulled up, but chose not to. Sanders took a wicked blow, but he popped right back up as the clock's still running. I think they just let it go and called it just a foul. I think it should have been more than that. It should have been probably a yellow card because he could have pulled up or changed direction, but he decided to try and send a message. This is on the edge of the 18-yard box. Sanders will kick this one away. That was a wicked hit. You can hear it from up here. Aiden's a tough cookie, though, so he popped right back up, no problem. And a couple of his teammates had us back there. They had something to say, but nothing more came of it as this crossed back to the middle. Nobody there for Farmington. It's knocked away back outside the 18-yard box. It's two very physical teams. They think Coach Biggs thinks his team can compete in the 4A West for a top position in the conference. He likes his ball club, likes both his teams. As this will go out of bounds and be a throw-in for Farmington. As we have a substitute for both sides ready to check in here. And a whistle, and they'll let a substitution come in for Mountain Home as one's ready to come in for Farmington. Under 30 minutes to go in this one. And I'm Dylan Conley on behalf of the Mountain Home School District, bringing you all the action here from high atop Farmington Cardinals Stadium. Beautiful look in the background of the Farmington High School as we have another illegal throw-in that's the third time that's happened this game. As mentioned, you have a beautiful look at the high school in the background and then the mountains in the background. Very, very picturesque area here in Farmington, northwest Arkansas. A lot of people call it God's country. About 3-4 minutes just outside of Fayetteville. As this jostled around about the 25 and 30-yard line. Either team maintaining possession for just too long. As Mountain Home had possession, then lost it. Coming back the other way is Mountain Home, but there was only one Bomber back and 4 Cardinals back. So that had little chance of working. As on the way here, had passed by Baum Stadium. They had a baseball game going on. Last check, they were losing to Central Arkansas 2-0, but Arkansas's come up victorious, 9-7. That one, the number 2 Hogs moved to 10-2. Sorry if that's a spoiler for anyone. If you're heavily vested in how Central Arkansas and Arkansas played a baseball game in early March, you know, that's up to you. Whatever you do in your free time. Kelso Hod will hover over this one to protect the ball. Now back at the 45, he's got 2 Cardinals on him like a cheap suit. As he makes one-man miss, comes back to the other side of the field. Now a good through ball. This was tapped away by a Cardinal. Now come back to this side. And we got some home events this week. Lady Bomber softball had a game last night. They were victorious at a walk-off. As this is behind the defense, and it's saved by the keeper of Farmington. It'll be a corner kick for the Bombers. So corner kick number 5 coming up for Mountain Home, as getting behind the defense was David Hodwinkle, who's looking for his 3rd goal of the night. See if he can get his 3rd goal here. It'll be a corner kick for Mountain Home, be on the left side of the field. Farmington out shooting Mountain Home 6 shots on frame to 3, but we're tied 2-2 as this one skipped high in the air as Farmington wanted a handball as this was wide open to the open net, and it's in! Farmington wanting the handball. They won't get it, and Mountain Home reclaims the lead. 26:37 to go as there were a slew of Cardinals there in front of the net. As the near official, the AR waving his flag, tried to bring in a substitution for Farmington. Clock stopped, 26:37 to go. Mountain Home has reclaimed the lead. I couldn't either you two see who scored that goal? Who was it? Just say the name. Garrett Barr. Yeah, he showed me 51. You had your hands backwards. It's all good. So Garrett Barr's on the board. There were a bunch of Bombers around there. It's hard to see up here for my old eyes. My old 28-year-old eyes. So Garrett Barr's on the board. He joins David Hodwinkle with a goal. At about the 26-minute mark in the second half, so Mountain Home's reclaimed the lead. They led a lot of the first half 2-0 and then gave up back-to-back goals in about a minute-and-a-half span as a whistle and some contact. They're calling for pushing. It'll be a free kick for Farmington. .25:40 to go in the ball game. Mountain Home does have a lead now. Glad you're here with us on the Bomber Sports Network and on the Mountain Home Athletics app. If you haven't already, download it now. You can find it on Google Play and the Apple App Store. Farmington will have the ball. Will come back to the middle of the field about the 20-yard line. Now skip back. Nifty move as this bounced high in the air. Will come back down to a Cardinal. Mountain Home trying to break it up, and they try to get out of there. I think that was Dirac. Now it comes back this way along the near sideline. Comes back to the middle. Tried to fit it to Kelso Hop, but it was knocked away. Farmington with a good attack. Now they just have to center it. They had a man wide open. Now they make a man miss. It's bat around playing like pinball as a Cardinal tried to knock it away. And a Cardinal screaming for the referee to stop the game. He's cramping up, I believe. As the clock is stopped, 24:10 to go in the second half. You could hear him scream from the end zone where he was. Maybe a little bit more than a cramp. Well, they're gonna stand him up. He's have a Bomber trying to help him. Coach Biggs will mosey over. They're gonna walk him back to the sideline. Hope he's all good. Training staff here at Farmington, quick over there. So 24:07 to go here in the match. And the Lady Bomber game will start just a couple minutes early. We've still got 24 minutes left, but they're going to get about a 10-minute warm-up. So I would say, those of you tuning in for that, I would say that'll be about 7:15 or so, if I had to guess, as we'll resume play. Farmington with the ball. About the 35, makes a man miss. Now they'll go to the far side. Kelso Hott comes up with it. Notice the game ball, a strange color. It's a red ball. It's got some black and white on it as well. It almost looks, when it's spinning, the colors almost combine. Looks like an orange ball, but it's pretty red. Farmington trying to find the equalizing goal. As this will go out of bounds on the far side. They'll send it back to Sanders. Sanders just boots this one down to the 40. Temperature beginning to cool. I believe we've broken into the 50s here in Farmington. Actually, no, we're still at 61, but there's a light breeze. We feel it more up here where we're at, but down there, I think they said earlier in the shade it was a little colder. Farmington on the counterattack, sprinting down the middle of the field. They try to fit it somewhere down the near sideline. There was nobody there, so they'll just follow it out of bounds and say it was out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for the Bombers. Sanders will kick this one away. About 22 and a half minutes to go in this one. Bombers trying to move to 6-1 on the season. They've had goals so far by Garrett Barr and then 2 goals from David Honvinkel. As we'll have a little stoppage, I'll let some substitutions come in as Aiden Sanders getting his shoe tied. Right now to ready to resume. Sanders has the laces tightened now. He will boot this one down. It's going to bounce past the 50, bounce to the other side of the 50. And Mountain Home on the counterattack. They lose possession of it. Dirac trying to corral this one. Now it comes back to the other side of midfield. Mountain Home going the wrong way. Now Farmington comes up with it. It will be booted high in the air. It went off of somebody else. Kareem took a funky spin in the air. Now Dirac has it. Mountain Home trying to push ahead. They tried to scoop it through all the way to Honwinkel, but it wasn't able to get there. It was broken up by Farmington, who has now more defenders back there now, taking more of a defensive approach. They've moved their back line back. This is a good ball over toward the keeper. Aiden Sanders just scoops this one up right to the trusty mitts of old Aiden. 21 minutes to go now in this one, as this is bounced high in the air right down to Dirac. He's going to head it backwards in relation to him. Tried to get it to Matlock, Cannon Matlock. It wouldn't come to him. Couldn't corral it. Now Farmington with the ball as they'll try to shoot one on net. It goes over the football crossbar. Be a goal kick for Mountain Home with about 20 and a half minutes remaining. So since the boys' game, they played the JV contest beforehand. Bombers were victorious 2-1. They trailed a lot of that game 1-0, and then they had a flurry of goals take place in the last 10 minutes or so of the second half. Came victorious 2-1. Farmington trying to make something happen. They get it into the 18-yard box. There's 2 Bombers around them as this will go out of bounds, and it will be a goal kick for Mountain Home. As there is a Seems like a low-flying airplane, but there is a regional airport nearby. And a whistle and a handball. They're going to call against Mountain Home. Farmington's just looking to get the ball out, make something happen. Farmington up on the counterattack now. Now it's lost. It'll go backwards. Stays inbounds outside the 18-yard box. Shot on goal is good! And it's good. They had to question it real quick to make sure it entered the net correctly. But it is now 4-2. I was looking down. Who was that one? That was David Honwinkle, so he has a hat trick. I was looking down at my notes. So David Honwinkle has a hat trick. It's his third goal of the night. Mountain Home leads 4-2. 18:40 to go in this one. Of course, this is the second time the Bombers have had a 2-goal lead tonight. Mountain Home trying to pour it on a little bit. Now in pursuit is Mountain Home, one-on-one with a defender, and it will go out of bounds and be a goal kick for the Cardinals of Farmington. 4-2 our score here, as they're going to move the kick back just to the left of the keeper. Mountain Home trying to preserve this 2-goal lead here. $17-18 to go in this one. Here live from Farmington. And it's knocked away. They will bring in substitutions now. Ball is away, 16:36 to go. Ball skip to the far side. Farmington in pursuit of the ball. Let's get back into the Mountain Home third now. Kelso tried to knock that one away. It'll result in a free kick on the foul. It'll be at the 30-yard line. Farmington will set up for the free kick. They'll back the wall up to the 20. This one is on its way. It'll go left of the net and be a harmless goal kick for Mountain Home. High arcing kick will go near the far sideline. It will bounce back this way. Farmington has possession. More Mountain Home defenders keep inching their way backwards. So we're at the 15-minute mark. This will be out of play. It was just to the left of the corner flag, so it was a throw-in. Now this will be a corner kick for Farmington. Their 8th corner kick of the night. They get it centered. It'll hit off of a bomber, bounce straight up in the air. And a whistle and a lot of contact left of the 18-yard box. Yeah, as I think the official's going to check out on this bomber. As he's up, we're ready to go. Sanders will line this one up and kick it away. Punches this one high and deep. The wind caught it. Would have went to about the 35, but instead it falls at the 50. Thirteen and a half minutes to go in this one. Skip backwards. It will come down to a Cardinal. Mountain Home in pursuit, trying to take the ball back. As this will be thrown in by Farmington, actually a free kick. High arcing kick comes to the edge of the 18-yard box. Coming back this way is Garrett Barr along the near sideline, trying to make something happen. Brings it back to the middle. And I'm thinking about launching one. They give it to Kelso Hott. Hott launches one toward the net. It bounces off the keeper's gloves and off the football crossbar. It will be a goal kick. Corner kick coming up for Mountain Home. Be the 6th of the night. This one will go back to the middle of the field. Comes down to a Cardinal. They clear it out, but it's sent right back to the foot of Zane Dirac. And it's launched just barely over the net. It cleared the football crossbar. It'll be a goal kick for Farmington with 11:40 to go. Approaching the 11-11 mark. Mountain Home with a 2-goal lead. Scored them pretty quickly, and pretty much in back-to-back fashion, as it was within 5 minutes of each other that they happened. Off the foot of Garrett Barr and David Honwinkle. David Honwinkle with a hat trick this evening. While skipping around the midfield circle. 10.5 to go. Farmington trying to cut the lead in half. Now Mountain Home nursing a 4-2 lead here, trying to move to 6-1 on the season as they will welcome the Panthers of Siloam Springs to town on Thursday evening. The JV contest will begin at 4 o'clock, then the varsity games. I believe it's a JV girls night. Don't know if you're playing JV Thursday, or is it girls? Don't know? Okay. I want to say it is JV girls, but either way, whoever plays JV, if it's JV girls, the girls will play after. If it's JV boys, the boys will play after. But we will have a varsity game at 5 and 7 o'clock for you here from Bomber Stadium Thursday evening. Then we'll have our second broadcast of the week as we'll hit the road to bring you Lady Bombers softball, weather permitting, as they will take on 6A West opponent. It's the Springdale Bulldogs. Good kick, sent down to the middle of the field. This will be knocked away, and it was tipped by a Cardinal, and it'll be a quarter kick for Mountain Home. $8:50 to go in this one. As that play will result in a goal kick. Loaded up right on the bottom of the N in Farmington in the end zone. I think the track meet's close to wrapping up as there are a lot of people walking through. Yeah, we pulled up today and saw a bunch of buses from all kinds of different school districts in the area. One from Gentry, one from Harrison. I think Siloam might have sent one. There were a bunch, a couple from Oklahoma. So they had a track meet going on here behind us. Where we're at now, we're on the home side of the field. Right behind us, there's a little gate below us, kind of contains everything in the football stadium, and then they have their track facility. It's a nice track facility. I didn't see any bleachers there, but it was very nice behind us. It's a beautiful stadium that they have here in Farmington. Very, very similar to Cabot's, where they have the big field house in the end zone with a scoreboard mounted on it. As we're about 7.5 away from this one being over. Bombers trying to get out of Farmington with a W and move to 6-1 on the season. Farmington on the attack. It's broken up by Mountain Home. At the 30-yard line, they'll boot this one down the field. It's headed by a Cardinal. And it comes back to the near side. A Bomber and a Cardinal trying to fight for it. And I'll say it was last touched by Mountain Home as it's thrown in already. Coming away with it is Mountain Home. 6:50 to go. Farmington looking to cut the lead in half. Cut it down to 1. Make it 4-3. Barr has the ball. They bring it back to the far side to Honwinkle. Try to get it back to the middle of the field, but there was no one there for Mountain Home. But Farmington will kick it out of bounds. Be a throw-in for the Bombers as a whistle and a substitution. A pair of Cardinals ready to come in as Farmington's going to make a goalie change. We're going to see what this goalie changes into. If they're about like us, our goalie is one of our better attackers, so see if they try to change him out of his goalie uniform. Looks like he's just going to take a seat on the bench. Well, 5:50 to go in this one. Now Farmington has made a keeper change. Don't know who it is because their roster is not updated. This is launched toward the net. It will go over the net and be a goal kick for Farmington. This goalie is wearing, it's the same kind of green top, but the shoulders and the back of it are blue, almost royal blue, with an Arial font number on the back. He's number 32. So this is brought back this way. Kelso Hott has it. Still has it. It's going to take it to the far side. Farmington has it now running along the far side. Making a couple men miss, and he's finally tripped up. It'll be a free kick for Farmington, and an infraction called against Mountain Home. The goalie of Farmington already pushing up way almost close to the 40. So the Mountain Home wall 10 yards away. And a whistle and a stoppage. I don't know what the stoppage is for. I talk to Isaac Wiggins real quick. We'll reset the free kick. It is on the way. It goes to the middle of the field. Knocked away by two Cardinals. It will go wide of the net. It'll be a goal kick for Mountain Home. Four minutes to go now. .340 to go. Mountain Home trying to bring this one home. Move to 6-1. 2 goals in the first half, 2 in the second. 3 of the 4 scored by David Honvinkel. Garrett Barr scored the other one. Kind of a funky play. It was funny. Hey, he put it in the net. The referee never made a signal. He finally did. It's funny if you go back and watch it. Everyone's waiting to celebrate, trying to figure out what happened, and finally gives the goal signal, and Mountain Home Bombers go ahead and start cheering. Three minutes to go now. 4-2 our score. Mountain Home with the lead. As an infraction's called, Farmington committed the infraction. It'll be a free kick for the Bombers. They're taking their sweet time. Try to waste as much time as possible. 2.5 to go now. Kicks away by Honwinkle. Goes to the middle of the net. Scooped up by the new keeper of Farmington. And he'll punt this one away. Coming back this way, Farmington had it. It will go out of bounds. Last touch by Mountain Home. Farmington throws it in. They're just north of the 18-yard box. They booted way down the field. The keeper of Farmington thought about kicking it. Oh, now the net's wide open. Barr launches it towards the net. A Cardinal's in pursuit. He's got to kick it away. It'll be a late corner kick for Mountain Home with 90 seconds remaining. The keeper was way out of his net. So Mountain Home trying to kill some clock here. Just jog over to this one. Be the 7th quarter kick of the night for the Bombers. They have not scored on, well, they scored on one of them, excuse me. They are 1 for 7 on corners, make it 1 of 8. Well, actually, it was knocked off. Couldn't tell who was off of it. It'll be another corner kick for Mountain Home, it sounds like. So corner kick number, excuse me, that one was corner kick number 8. This is corner kick number 9. Mountain Home 1 of 8 so far on corner kicks. Scored on one of them. 17 total tonight. This would be corner kick number 17 tonight, with 35 seconds to go. This one's bounced back to the middle, comes back down to a Bomber. As I don't believe this will go to Dirac. I don't believe Farmington will have enough time to come back into this one. Mountain Home just trying to play keep away now as Bisdall's in pursuit. As he will fall down. Bisdall comes up with it. 15 seconds to go. Scooting back this way, a whistle, and he is off sides. And I believe that's going to do it. So Mountain Home has come to Farmington. They will move to 6-1 on the season as they've defeated the Cardinals of Farmington by the score of 4-2. So they will shake hands at midfield as customary. So Mountain Home moves to 6-1 on the season. They will return home to the attention of the Panthers of Siloam Springs Thursday evening. As they'll go through the handshake line here. So got final score, Mountain Home wins 4-2. David Honwinkle with 3 goals and a goal from Garrett Barr off a corner kick seals it. So Mountain Home wins by the final score of 4-2. We're going to take a short little intermission. We will bring you the Lady Bombers soccer game coming up here as they try to go to 8-0. This is Bomber Soccer on the Bomber Sports Network. We will give you, once again, the latest Bomber update from Superintendent Miss Allison Dewey here. Kill the time, then we'll bring you back for the pregame show. They're going to kick off in about 10 minutes. So we'll take a short little break. This is Bomber Soccer on the Bomber Sports Network.
Hello, Bombers. Today I want to highlight some of the amazing things that have happened across our district this week. On Monday and Tuesday, our Hackler students learned tennis skills during PE thanks to the Twin Lakes Tennis Club. The kids really enjoyed themselves and appreciated the chance to learn from a real tennis pro. On Tuesday, all of our juniors took either the ACT or the ACT Work Keys assessment. As some of you may know, the ACT is generally curriculum-based and used for college placement. The ACT Work Keys is a foundational test where students are able to test their knowledge against general work-ready skills. The students also last week were able to attend an ACT boot camp in preparation for these tests. While our juniors tested, we had about 270 sophomores visit the Baxter County Airport. Representatives from the Leading Edge Aviation Foundation showed them around and also introduced them to a number of aviation-related careers. We so appreciate these expert volunteers who took time to share their love of flying with our kids. On Wednesday, students in Ms. Schaffler's 6th grade science class dissected eyeballs as part of their study of the nervous system. Ms. Schaffler wanted to thank the Mountain Home Education Foundation for the teaching grant that allowed the students to have this experience. Also on Wednesday, our 1st and 2nd graders at Nelson Wilkes got a wonderful surprise thanks to the Junior Auxiliary of Mountain Home. Guest readers from JA and our community read a wonderful grade level book to each classroom. They also provided a copy of books for each student to take home. Big thanks to JA for always supporting our students and their learning. On Thursday, students in Miss Ellis's and Miss Barrow's math classes at Pinkston Middle School formed a number line. This exercise engaged students in kinesthetic learning, which has proven to increase information retention and improve problem-solving skills. Today we have numerous adult presenters at our junior high campus for the HOSA Health Fair. On the high school campus, we have our annual career fair. I can't express how much this career-connected learning with our area professionals will impact our kids. Like I said before, there are some awesome things happening across the Mountain Home Public Schools campuses. We are so grateful to our community for helping our kids learn and grow. Have a great week.
Here's Kyle McCarn, Mountain Home Junior High School principal.
Everybody has a good time at the junior high. We're so proud of what we've been able to accomplish and all of those things. I think the biggest thing we have going at Mountain Home Junior High is just the culture that we have established. We have a ton of teachers and other staff that are encouraged and uplifting and ready for kids to be in our building so they can just create the best environment for learning.
Talking with Jeff Kincaid, Guyberry principal.
Guyberry, we started 12 years ago for the school district to have our own alternative learning environment, and we've really grown since then. We've come a long way. We've had 3 state ALE Teachers of the Year. Mr. Tim Harris won that award 2 years ago, and then this year at State ALE Convention, he was appointed to the Arkansas Association of Alternative Educators State Boards. We're proud to have him on there. It's really been a big blessing.
Visiting with Miss Kristen Goodwin, how would you describe the culture at Hackler? I've always heard it referred to as Happy Hackler.
Well, we are very happy at Hackler. We're very proud of the work that we do at Hackler. I think that we have outstanding students and we have a faculty and staff that I am immensely proud to work with. They are easy to talk about. They're easy to celebrate because they want what's best for our students, and I'm very proud to be able to lead them.
Here's Mary Beth Russell, Mountain Home High School principal.
So we have a lot of good going on right now at the high school. Think about it. If you're a teenager, you want to come to high school because we have all the things. That's the best part about being in high school is doing the things. Listen, if you can name it, we have a club that fits it. You know, I joke around about we're like New York. We're the high school that never sleeps. We have the mentoring program once a month. Our kids, they get to actually look and see experiences that no other high school in our area provides.
Bomber Nation, good evening. It is that time. The Lady Bombers are ready to kick off here in Farmington. As strangely enough, I look to my left and I look to my right. This is an empty press box. There is nobody up here. It's very unique. Usually there's a clock person or a PA guy, but they didn't play music in the warm-up. We have shut the windows here as it has become cold, believe it or not. Well, I shouldn't say cold. It's become windier. So Mountain Home will start on defense here. Farmington will kick off to start off the ball game. They will be moving from right to left in front of you here. They will be shooting on the goal on the left side of the field. As the kick is off and we're underway here in Farmington. Farmington, their their home red uniforms, all red from the jersey down to the socks. White numerals as this kick is scooped up by the keeper of Farmington, who's in a neon yellow jersey, black pants, and baby blue shoes. Mountain Home in their road whites. Blue numerals, gold trim on them. They have blue shorts on with a little white trim on it. And white socks. Jaden Davis, the keeper for Mountain Home, in her bright neon pink Lady Bomber goalie uniform as this will go out of bounds and be a goal kick for Farmington. She also has pink socks on that match, and she has on green shorts to go along with it. So a minute into this one, not much has gone on as this is sent to the midfield. We'll come back this way. A lot of fighting for position. Mountain Home comes into this one 7-0, or 7-0, excuse me. One of their better starts in recent memory. Coming off a lot of victories over the weekend as they were victorious in the Batesville Southside Invitational. As they were victorious over Whitehall 3-0, another 5A opponent. Whitehall out of the south. They're down near Pine Bluff in that area there. 2 minutes into this one, no shots on goal just yet. Should be a good game. Mountain Home's girls been playing good this year. Had a lot of quality victories so far. As the ball skipped back to the goalie of Farmington. They won to start the season 7-0 over Nettleton. Had a 1-0 victory over Cave City. It might be a surprise to some, but Cave City had a lot of returning starters. They'll compete in their conference. Big 6-0 win over Arkadelphia, 5-0 over Batesville. Then they went down to Southside. In the tournament, they saw Heber Springs in their pool. They won 3-1. They then defeated the Baptist Prep Eagles 3-0, and then they met Whitehall in the championship game, and they won 3-0 there. And now they find themselves here. They will welcome Siloam Springs to Bomber Stadium Thursday night. Come on out if you can make it. Should be a fairly decent night weather-wise, if I remember correctly. If you're not able to make it, you could tune in on the Bomber Sports Network. We'll have no commentary for that for you other than the arena announcer, or the stadium announcer. Come on out and make it if you're able to. This one skipped back to the middle. Blackwell tried to make something happen. As this will go out of bounds. One of the Medleys will track this down. It'll be thrown in by Mountain Home. It will go to the near sideline, coming back this way. As again, hard to see down on the near sideline. The front of the bleachers cover up that area. Coming back, shot, or actually it's crossed back over the middle, goes over everybody. It'll go out of bounds. Should go to Farmington. Almost 5 minutes into this one. Mountain Home with the ball as it's picked up by Farmington. Mountain Home has 4 defenders back, separated about 10 yards each. As this will skip out of bounds right to Coach King. As this will be a throw-in now for Farmington. They are cleaning some moisture off the ball. We'll have a substitution. Farmington hitting the 5-minute mark in this one. Play 2 40-minute halves in soccer. As it will come back to the far side. It is Didi Martinez that knocked it out of bounds. Didi's going to kick it back this way. Now Farmington's going to launch a shot on goal right to the chest of Jaden Davis. Good job corralling that one, as it was Didi and Nikita Brunette in pursuit of that one. Apologize if her family's watching. I've been mistakenly calling her Nakata. It's Nikita Brunette, as this will go out of bounds and go to the direction of Mountain Home. Coming back this way is Farmington with the ball. Of course, I'm not sure exactly because, again, I don't have a roster for them on SB Live that has numbers. But they might have a few girls missing because their girls will also be participating in the Class 4A state basketball finals. What's normally a rare occurrence has 3 schools in the state of Arkansas that have both their boys and girls in the state finals. It's Farmington, Bergman, and Little Rock Central. They will have dual representation back in the state finals in, where is that at? Hot Springs. Yeah, at the Hot Springs Convention Center. Used to have the Sun Belt tournament there. 7 minutes into this one. Mountain Home with the ball. They will throw in towards their net. It will go to the left side of the 18-yard box, coming back towards the middle. Actually, it gets separated out to the left. Coming back this way, it'll go back to Farmington. And this will go out of bounds. It will go to Farmington. This will be a free kick for the Cardinals. 32.5 to go in this first half. High arcing kick. The wind has died down a little bit. It was blowing from left to right. That's how Mountain Home was able to get ahead for 2 goals. As they had someone behind the defense, but on sides, but the wind carried it a little farther than everyone thought it would. So the free kick will be at the 38-yard line. Kicks away. It will go to the middle of the 18-yard box. Mountain Home trying to clear it out, but it comes down to the foot of a Cardinal. And it will come back this way. Cardinals still possessing it. Now it's turned immediately over. Mountain Home sprinting up the far sideline. They push it ahead. They'll have someone down there. Won't get there in time. It's scooped up by the keeper of Farmington. Ball comes back this way. Farmington trying to make its way to their third of the field. Go back towards the middle. They had a girl that was there, but Mountain Home broke it up nicely. It will be a throw-in for Farmington, about even with the 35. Comes down to the 20, and this will get knocked out of bounds by Mountain Home. Mountain Home on the counterattack. Here comes Lily Hinson sprinting behind. It is knocked away. Farmington has the ball back. It will launch it out of bounds off the retaining wall against the Mountain Home sideline. Coach Biggs has made a wardrobe change. He's throwing out a couple more layers. He's in all black now. He also coaches the girls here at Farmington. Again, he likes both his teams. Coach Biggs, a Mountain homie. He's got a big week ahead. He's also lead boys assistant for the Farmington Cardinal basketball team as they're preparing to try to figure out how to beat Little Rock Christian. As this is set in front of the net, it goes off the football crossbar. It will be out of bounds. It'll be a harmless goal kick for the Cardinals of Farmington. So Farmington will load up. His kick is sent to the 30. Skip backwards, back to the middle. Out to the near sideline. Medley couldn't come up with it. It will go out of bounds, go back to Farmington. Coming back up near the near sideline. Be a throw in for Mountain Home. It went out of bounds. It will come back to Farmington, trying to fight for position. Still nothing our score here. As the ball goes through a couple of Mountain Home defenders, launched back to the 40-yard line. It'll be thrown in at the 40, bounces down to the 20. Good throw by Medley. It's Kendra Medley, one of two Medley sisters, Kenna and Kendra. Both also volleyball players, and I believe Kenna is a track athlete. I can't remember what for, but for some reason I just remember her in track. As this is out of bounds, it'll be a throw-in. Comes down to the foot of Jocelyn Hill. Now it's centered back to Blackwell. Blackwell still rocking a brace on that left wrist. Comes back to the middle. Blackwell couldn't get to it, and it's scooped up by the keeper of Farmington. .26 minutes to go in this first, 26 and a half minutes to go in this first half. Farmington on the counterattack. It will come back this way. Sprinting ahead is Mountain Home as this is cleared down to the near sideline. Kendra Medley has it. Medley goes in a circle, now comes back towards the middle. Coming back is Farmington on the attack. Farmington trying to launch something here. As this is set towards the net, it will go wide of the net and be a goal kick. So Jaden Davis will set this one up right at the edge of the G in the goal in the end zone. She'll kick this away. Couple substitutions coming on for Farmington. This will sail out of bounds, be a throw-in for Mountain Home. Ball goes to the far side, makes the defender miss. Now they're running inside the 18-yard box, set towards the goal. It will go wide of the goal and be a goal kick for the Cardinals. So this will go out of bounds. I thought they were trying to get a sub in, but it was just a throw in near the near side. As Medley knocked this one out of bounds. This is thrown in. It comes down almost to the foot of Kendra Medley, but it will go back away. Jocelyn Hill will push this one out and be a throw in for Farmington. Over on the near sideline, about even with the 25-yard line on the football field. Come back this way, kick straight in the air. It's going to come down, take a Mountain Home bounce, be headed forward. They tried to get it to Kendra Medley, but instead it will come down to Mountain Home. Mountain Home on the counterattack. As Kendra McLean will have possession of this one. We do apologize. The near sideline is covered up with the edge of the football bleachers. There's no track at this football stadium. That's becoming more and more customary. At a lot of bigger schools, their track is behind us. They had a big track meet going on behind us as they had Gentry here, Harrison, I think some kids from Fayetteville, Northwest Arkansas schools, some Oklahoma schools as well. This is sent into the 18-yard box. Mountain Home, nobody has had a shot on goal yet. Interestingly enough, a very hard-fought game so far. Both teams try to feel each other out. As Kendra Medley now has it. She will try to center it, but it will go wide of the net. Nobody touched it. And it will be a goal kick for the Cardinals. I apologize if anyone from Farmington is watching this. We don't have a numbered roster for the Cardinals. There was not one available on their website or SB Live or in the stadium here. Job by Jaden Davis, scooped that one up. As we're at 21:40 to go in this first half, as this ball is bouncing straight up in the air. It will come back down. Hill's going to knock it ahead. And I'm trying to make something happen as it was scooped down to Nikita. Nikita's going to have it. Kelsey Blackwell hops into the picture here, still rocking that wrist brace. She will sprint down the near sideline. She'll come back this way as Medley is able to keep it in bounds. And it will go out of bounds and be a goal kick for Farmington. A lot of goal kicks in this one. As we have a Couple Cardinals tying their shoes right now. Coming back this way is Farmington. Again, they're going from right to left. They're shooting at the goal to our left. As this will be a throw-in for Farmington. Even with about the 15-yard line, as we're pretty close to the halfway mark of this first half. They play two 40-minute halves. Sandwiched in between is a 10-minute halftime. Kendra Medley's got it. She's going to turn the Jets on. Go near sideline. Down to the 30, down to the 20, down to the 10. Mountain Home has a good attempt going here. They try to center it. It will go out of bounds, and it'll be a quarter kick. The first one of the ball game for Mountain Home. Looks like Nikita will take the corner. Nikita sends this one in the middle of the 18-yard box. It will bounce backwards, back to Nikita. She's going to load up, try to take a shot. It will go wide of the net. Still not a shot on goal yet in this game for either side. .1906 left in this first half. Still nothing our score. Bomber boys were victorious 4-2. They had a 2-goal lead at two separate occasions. They led 2-0 for about the first. They scored their first goal 5 minutes in, then they had another one right after it. So I'd say for about a 15-20 minute period, they led 2-0, and then in about a minute 16 seconds, Farmington had back-to-back goals. They had one off a penalty kick and one off a corner kick where it was number 17, again, don't know his name, was left unmarked right in front of the net, and he cashed in. Farmington will throw in. The JV boys also came from behind. They were the only ones that came from behind. They were down 1-0, and then 10 minutes left in the JV contest. I believe they played 25-minute halves in that one. About 5 minutes left. It was still 1-0 Farmington. The game ended 2-1 in favor of our JV boys. This one will sail out and be a goal kick for the Cardinals of Farmington. Couple Cardinals coming in for a substitution. They're settled into their positions. .16:25 left in this first half. Still no shots on goal either direction. Glad you're here with us on the Bomber Sports Network and the Mountain Home Athletics app. You're watching on your smartphone, watching on mhbombersports.com, wherever you may be watching. Glad you're here with us. These Lady Bombers will be back in action Thursday night as they'll welcome Siloam Springs to Bomber Stadium. the opener for 5A West Conference action. As coming in front of the net, Lily Hinson looking towards the net, and the Lady Bombers have scored. Lily Hinson puts the Lady Bombers on the board. She walked right in front of the net and made the Cardinals pay with their first goal of the evening. It is 1-0, so the Lady Bombers break the seal with 15:39 to go in the first half off the foot of Lily Hinson. Here has a large fan club from Farmington here tonight. Farmington will kick this one away as they will try to regroup and respond. Ball will scoot to the far sideline and roll out of bounds. Be a goal kick for the Cardinals. What a great goal for Lily Hinson. As the Lady Bombers have broken the seal. I suppose we should put it on the scoreboard. Yeah, there we go. As we clicked, there was a goal. The software we have did not put it on the screen, so we apologize for that. But Lily Hinson's goal was good at around the 15-minute mark here in the first half of action. Going back this way is Farmington. Jaden Davis scoops this one up. She will punt it high in the air. This will bounce at about the 45. We'll take a mountain home bounce across the 50. Now go to the other side of the 50. Blackwell will push this one ahead. This is punted back the other way as Hinson's in pursuit. Tell you what, Hinson's one of the fastest players in the state of Arkansas. When she turns on the jets, she's along the near sideline. She'll try to center it, and it will go out of bounds, but be a throw-in for Mountain Home as the wind has really picked up now. Get it into Hinson as it is knocked away. Still be a throw-in for Mountain Home. That was Bella Dotson that it came down to. Bella in pursuit of that one. She'll bring it back this way. Farmington with the ball now as Blackwell tried to sneak in behind and take it away. As she'll punt this one down the field. Now Hinson can go chase after it. Hinson's got a good angle at this one. She's running to the right of the net. She will cross it ahead. There was someone right in front. Couldn't tell it was for Mountain Home that had a wide open net, and now she'll kick it back. And it will be a goal kick for Farmington. I want to say that was Nikita that had a really good look at the net there, but she just was about a step behind. And it will result in a goal kick for the Cardinals. So another good opportunity for Mountain Home. I have to imagine those will keep opening up, and then we'll have more and more as the night goes along. Kick is away. It will go down to the 35, come down to Lily Hinson. One of the small handful of seniors for Mountain Home. Farmington trying to respond, try to find that equalizing goal. As this high arcing kick will find its way to the middle of the 18-yard box. But yeah, there's only 3 seniors on this team. Lily Hinson, Dee Dee Martinez, and Jaden Davis. As the ball is returned this way. Bella Dotson tries to send it down the sideline. She does, but it's knocked out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Mountain Home. Henson tried to center this one. Now Dotson's going to try to head it down and knock it down. She heads it and kicks it twice, trying to settle it down, but it will go out of bounds and be a goal kick for the Cardinals. 11:08 left in this first half of action. Lady Bombers got a goal as Lily Henson was wide open in front of the net and made Farmington pay, as Farmington making some substitutions. I'm telling you, if you haven't watched Lily Henson play, she's one of the best girls soccer players that we'll have at our conference. When she gets a full head of steam, there aren't many girls that are keeping up with her. I've seen a lot of soccer here at Mountain Home, and she, from sideline to sideline or end line to end line, she's one of the fastest I've seen, boys or girls. That's saying a lot because we've had some dudes play here. And that is, of course, not a knock on any of the previous players we have. That's just how outstanding she is just athletically. This will settle out of bounds. 10-10 to go in the first half. Mountain Home with a 1-0 lead. Trying to move to 8-0 for the first time in, I had that number earlier. I can't remember when it was last time they had a good start like this. Sure, Neil Denton would know the answer to that. Probably not off the top of his head, but he would have access to that information. I believe Neil was telling me that he's at flipping Bobcat baseball. Yeah, he was telling me that, and they're using, they got approved by AAA this year. They're using the PitchCom system. That's the communication device you might have seen in Major League Baseball, where the catcher is able to press an order of buttons and send a message to his pitcher, vice versa, and to the middle infielders about what pitch is coming or what pitch he wants. This will be a corner kick for Mountain Home. I believe it will be Nikita to take this one. So the free kick's away. It will go to the middle of the 18-yard box as it was Henson who launched it, and it hits off the football crossbar, and that will be a goal kick for the Cardinals. Couple substitutions coming on now for Farmington. We will have a free kick for Mountain Home. Nikita will kick this one away. We'll have more at halftime about our upcoming spring sports schedule. So they have marked off. They have not. The defenders are not 10 feet or 10 yards away from this free kick, but they are 9. So it was a decent wall as Nikita had to kick around it. Came down to a Farmington Cardinal. So when you take a free kick, as you're wondering, the first defenders, which is normally they line up in a wall like that, have to be 10 feet, or not 10 feet, I'll keep wanting to say feet, 10 yards away from where the free kick is being kicked. In that case, they were about 9, which, there's not just a big difference. But at a game of inches, it can make a big difference in some instances. Nikita will kick this one away. Kick is away in front of the net. Trying to keep it out. The goalie's scooped it up just outside of the goal line. So great save by Farmington to keep this a 1-0 game. So here's Medley along the sideline. Lost it out of bounds. 6:09 to go in this first half. It's thrown ahead. Tried to get it down to Blackwell. Blackwell settles it down. He'll pull it backwards, launch toward the net. It will go wide of the net. And be a goal kick for Farmington. Kicks away. It is a low kick. Will be settled down around the 20 on the football field, so about 30 yards away from the goal. Mountain Home coming back on the counterattack. They will send it back this way. Blackwell trying to push it towards the middle. Tried to skip it to Hinson, but there was a Farmington Lady Cardinal there in the way. As this will go out of bounds, be a throw-in for Mountain Home. .448 left in this first half. I have a lot of good information for you as that ball skipped out of bounds. Someone almost left with a souvenir. Comes the throw in. It will go down to Blackwell. She'll bounce it backwards. Farmington, they whiffed on it. Now Hinson comes up with the ball. Hinson sprinting down the sideline. He's trying to look for someone to cross it to in front of the net. It will come down to, I think that was Nikita. Couldn't tell who it was. There were 3 Lady Bombers in the area, but it sailed wide of the net. And it'll be another goal kick for Farmington. Another missed opportunity for Mountain Home, but they've gotten a lot of opportunities. Those will start to find the back of the net here soon. If not now, then in the second half. The Lady Bombers have done good things. It's just they just can't get the ball in the back of the net. It's about like in football when you have a nice drive going and then you just play the drive just ends on a field goal, or basketball you get whatever look you want. The ball just won't go in the hoop. It's kind of what the Lady Bombers are dealing with right now. Is they're doing all the right things. They're in the right places. It's just the ball's not getting in the net. 3:20 to go in the first half. Lady Bombers with a 1-0 lead. Lily Hinson with the lone goal in this one. As this will get kicked out of bounds and be a throw-in. Let's see the official signal. It'll be throw-in for Mountain Home as they'll change out the balls. Blackwell throws in. It will come back this way. Farmington hadn't had many attack opportunities here in the first half. They've been few and far between. They haven't been non-existent. Like here's a good one right now. As this is centered, it will come to the far side, but it is corralled by a Lady Bomber. As it will go out of bounds off the retaining wall along the sideline. Farmington to throw in, 2:20 to go in the first half. Bounces to the far side. As there's a fight along the end line for the ball. And a whistle and an infraction against Mountain Home. The ball will go to Farmington as Coach King, the question about, or no, he's just directing traffic. Looked like whoever that was next to the official was not happy about that. So it will be a free kick just outside the 10-yard line. Kicks away. It will go to the front of the net, and it's in. So Farmington has tied the ball game. 1-1 off the good set piece. So with 1:14 to go here in the first half, the first shot on frame for Farmington is a goal. And we have a brand new ball game. We're just north of a minute away from halftime. So this is kicked away. Hinson has it now. They will get to the near sideline to Medley. Bounce back this way to Blackwell, as Blackwell barreled a girl down to get to that one. No foul, though. As it comes back this way. Under a minute to go now. Lady Bombers trying to reclaim the lead. Comes back to this side to Medley. Medley keeps it in play, trying to find someone to cross it to. They get it into the middle. Hinson had a decent angle at it, but it went out of play, or it went back to a Lady Cardinal, but it goes out of play now off of Medley. And it'll be a goal kick for Farmington, and if they want to take their time and make sure this is the last play of the half, then they can do that. 22 seconds to go as this is a low kick. There could be one more attack here in this game, or in this first half. As this comes down to Medley, Medley just boots it out of bounds. It'll be down to 6 seconds. Down to 4, 3, 2, and 1, and that'll do it for the first half of action here from Farmington. Well, Lady Bombers had a lead for a while, and then they gave up a goal off of a set piece with about 1:14 to go in the first half. So we've reached halftime, and we're tied 1-1 with the Lady Cardinals of Farmington. So they'll put 10 minutes on the clock for halftime as both teams will retreat to the warmth of the field house. So we're at halftime here in Farmington. Got a few notes for you here at halftime now, if they ever decide to start the clock. Mountain Home Public Schools is currently accepting applications from students interested in participating in the School Choice Program. The School Choice Act 560 of 2015, authorized by the Arkansas General Assembly, empowers parents to seek admission for their children participating in participating school districts other than their residential district. To be deemed eligible for the approaching school year, applications for the 24-25 term must be received on or before May 1st of this year. Applications should be submitted to the non-resident district, which will then notify the resident district of the filed application. Assignments will be determined based on available space, and applicants will receive notification of acceptance or rejection by July 1st. So who wouldn't want to be a Bomber? Another cool new thing we have here in the Mountain Home School District, we do have an app now. The Mountain Home Athletics app and website, visited at mhbombersports.com to stay up to date on all things. We just pushed it out yesterday. We've worked a decent amount of time on it. Bomber Nation, get out your cell phone and download the new Mountain Home Bombers Athletics app. Just go to Google Play or the App Store, search Mountain Home Bombers or Mountain Home Athletics. Keep up to date with all Bombers schedules, rosters, updates, and athletic live streams only on the Mountain Home Bombers app, or you can visit our brand new website at mhbombersports.com, your new home for Bomber athletics. And we'll take a special look at the new website here. We'll get the proverbial software pulled up so we could show you what it looks like. If we can get it to load. There we go. So there it is. This is mountainhomebombersports.com. If you look at the tab on the top, you have, as we've underlined it now, the live broadcast going on. Anytime there's a broadcast, it will be shown there. It will say live now and then whoever versus Mountain Home High School. A lot of things you can keep up with. You know, you have a photo gallery. One of my favorite pictures here against the basketball game against Harrison. You have an upcoming schedule of events. You know, all 3 soccer games tonight. Bomber baseball is at Prairie Grove. They'll be taking on Elkins at 3. That'll get updated soon. A lot of great things here. You have all of our sports here at Mountain Home High School. We'll take a look at boys basketball. That just wrapped up. You can go back, look at their schedule. When their schedule becomes available, you can look at next year's schedule, but you can go back and look at previous scores from this year if you are so inclined to do so. You can even check the roster. You know, there's some teams we do not have photos of. This is still a work in progress. See who the coaches are. Go to facilities. You can check out our facilities here at Mountain Home High School. You got the hangar. You got Bomber Stadium, the home of Bomber soccer and football. The indoor baseball softball complex, our junior high gymnasium, and McLean Family Park, home of the Bomber baseball and softball teams. They'll be in action starting next week. They got a set of conference home games. Come out and support. That's on Tuesday night, but this is your brand new home of Mountain Home Bomber Athletics. The other neat thing, so we'll go to baseball. Just for instance, you have a schedule of events coming up. They'll be heading to Gulf Shores here in a couple weeks. But if you go down below, and of course Twitter is blocked on the network that we're on here in Farmington, but you're able to check the prospective teams' individual social media. So this is what we put on Facebook for our teams. You know, you can stay up to date that way. Final score updates, any other cool things like the Bomber baseball team's added a Coach C patch with his famous quote, "Go as hard as you can for as long as you can. It's my job to know when you're done." So good job by the Mountain Home Run Club to get that one done and get that taken care of for our kids to honor one of the best coaches that Mountain Home's ever had. Other cool things here on, this is just the Facebook feed. It's very similar to the Twitter feed, but you know, the day against Ozark, Brantley Phillips and Dawson Dunlap threw a combined no-hitter against the Hillbillies of Ozark, but that's pretty much it on the website. You can see the same thing on the app. You just download it. If, let's say, you're watching a girls' soccer game online, you're like, I have no idea who 22 is. Well, you can go to the roster and find that that's Kendra Medley. Yeah, she's a 5'6" sophomore. She's a wing. Again, we don't have photos just yet. We'll get those in here soon. But other things, you can check news. We'll have some recaps of games. Like last night, Lady Bomber softball team had their home opener. They had a walk-off fielder's choice, a real interesting play. Lady Bombers won 7-6. They're still working in some players that came out of basketball, but Kylie Horn had a good night. Brooklyn Arms got on base 4 times. Natalie Fleet back this year. Did a good job, 1 for 3. Libby Dewey had a clutch hit late in the game. Dalen Harper had the game-winning fielder's choice. Emma King did a good job in the circle. I had the JV and junior high scores as well. So, again, those are all kinds of things that you could see on mhbombersports.com. You can also see it on the Mountain Home Bombers app. So, again, here we are at halftime. We are going to take a short little intermission. We will bring you Lady Bomber Soccer, the second half of action here from Farmington in just a moment. We will have the Bomber update from Miss Allison Dewey. Again, there's some outdated information. This is from the previous week, as she'll talk about the Lady Bomber basketball game that she says is taking place tonight, but it actually has already taken place. But a lot of good tidbits about our aviation program here from Miss Dewey. Or from Miss Allison Dewey, excuse me.
Hello, Bombers. Today I want to highlight some of the amazing things that have happened across our district this week. On Monday and Tuesday, our Hackler students learned tennis skills during PE thanks to the Twin Lakes Tennis Club. The kids really enjoyed themselves and appreciated the chance to learn from a real tennis pro. On Tuesday, all of our juniors took either the ACT or the ACT Work Keys assessment. As some of you may know, the ACT is generally curriculum-based and used for college placement. The ACT Work Keys is a foundational test where students are able to test their knowledge against general work-ready skills. The students also last week were able to attend an ACT boot camp in preparation for these tests. While our juniors tested, we had about 270 sophomores visit the Baxter County Airport. Representatives from the Leading Edge Aviation Foundation showed them around and also introduced them to a number of aviation-related careers. We so appreciate these expert volunteers who took time to share their love of flying with our kids. On Wednesday, students in Ms. Schaffler's 6th grade science class dissected eyeballs as part of their study of the nervous system. Ms. Schaffler wanted to thank the Mountain Home Education Foundation for the teaching grant that allowed the students to have this experience. Also on Wednesday, our 1st and 2nd graders at Nelson Wilkes got a wonderful surprise thanks to the Junior Auxiliary of Mountain Home. Guest readers from JA and our community read a wonderful grade level book to each classroom. They also provided a copy of books for each student to take home. Big thanks to JA for always supporting our students and their learning. On Thursday, students in Miss Ellis's and Miss Barrow's math classes at Pinkston Middle School formed a number line. This exercise engaged students in kinesthetic learning, which has proven to increase information retention and improve problem-solving skills. Today we have numerous adult presenters at our junior high campus for the HOSA Health Fair. On the high school campus, we have our annual career fair. I can't express how much this career-connected learning with our area professionals will impact our kids. Like I said before, there are some awesome things happening across the Mountain Home Public Schools campuses. We are so grateful to our community for helping our kids learn and grow. Have a great weekend, and go Bombers!
Well, we're back here in Farmington, about ready to get things back going here out of halftime. That was the Bomber update from Miss Allison Dewey. We'll have the updated one for this week. I believe they come out every Friday. Yeah, I have that on my notes right here. Good job by her and Miss Jennifer Crawford in our central office to do things like that. It's really neat to watch those every week. You learn about different aspects of the district. She gave you a small tour about Pinkston Middle School. She gave you a tour of all the buildings, and then Guy Berry. I mean, there are a lot of cool things so far you've been able to see on those Bomber updates that they put out every Friday. So that's another cool thing that our district does. Speaking of our district, do you want to be a Bomber? Mountain Home Public Schools is currently accepting applications from students interested in participating in the School Choice Program. School Choice Act 560 of 2015, authorized by the Arkansas General Assembly, empowers parents to seek admission for their children in participating school districts other than their residential district. To be deemed eligible for the approaching school year, applications for the 24-25 term must be received on or before May 1st of this year. Applications should be submitted to the non-resident district, which will then notify the resident district of the filed application. Assignments will be determined based on available space, and applicants will receive notification of acceptance or rejection by July 1st. Mountain Home Public Schools is looking for substitute teachers and bus drivers. Are you wanting to supplement your income and work around kids in a fast-paced working environment? Well, become a substitute teacher or a bus driver for Mountain Home Public Schools. We're always looking for those. You can give them a call at Central Office at 425-1201 for more information on how to apply, and they'll get you all set up over there. So we're ready to get things rocking here in the second half. Glad you're here with us on the Bomber Sports Network. 1-1 our score here, as the Lady Bombers led for a large chunk of that first half, and then they gave up a goal with 1:14 to go. But again, this is a team that Coach Ian Biggs, who used to be at Mountain Home, he really likes this bunch that he has here. And the Lady Bombers are off to a very stout start here. This year they've started 7-0. Again, I had the number in my head about when the last time they did that was, but I can't remember it now. I think Neil Denton told me that. So we're ready to go. They have flipped ends of the field now, as Mountain Home will be moving from right to left in front of you here. They'll be shooting at the goal to their left. Farmington will be going from left to right now. They'll be shooting at the goal to their right. I think the officials are ready to fire this one away. We're back underway on the officials' whistle, and we're rolling here. The Mountain Home looked charged up coming out of the locker room at halftime, As Henson has it, they will send it down the near sideline, down to Kelsey Blackwell. That's Bella Dotson. Bella changed her hair at halftime. Looks similar to Kelsey's. Now it comes back to the middle of the field. It will go down the near sideline. And ball going the wrong direction. Martinez tried to get a foot on it, but fumbled it. It got knocked away. Didi's going to try to clear it down, try to get it to Dotson. It went past her. As we're about a minute into this second half of action. Again, if we are tied in about 39 minutes and 5 seconds, then that's over. That's it. There will be no overtime. There will be no shootout, no nothing. It will go down as a tie. Neither team has had a tie yet this season. This is Farmington's first game and the Lady Bombers' 8th game this year. Lady Bombers 7-0. Farmington with a record of 0-0. Coach Biggs, a man of many hats around here, coaching both soccer teams and the lead assistant for the Farmington Cardinal basketball team. They'll be taking on Little Rock Christian this week in the 4A basketball state finals. Again, Farmington, one of 3 schools in the state to have both their boys and their girls represented. Them, Bergman, and Little Rock Central will have dual representation in the state finals. Corner kick loading up for Mountain Home. Kick's on the way. This is a big booming kick. It's going to go to the far post, but it'll sail out of bounds as the wind caught just enough of it. It wasn't able to come down to anybody, and it'll be a goal kick for the Cardinals. .37 to go in the second half. Be a throw-in for Mountain Home. Mountain Home on the attack right now as Dotson's trying to get to that one. Couldn't get to it in time. Comes down to Blackwell. Blackwell's going to launch this one. The wind's going to pick it up and give it some backspin. It'll go down to the keeper of the Cardinals. Kicks on the way. It had some side spin. It actually moved far to the left, but it's settled down by Medley on the far side. As Medley touched it last, it will go out of bounds. It was 72 degrees at kickoff of the JV boys game. Now it's cooled off. It has gotten down to about 55 degrees here. Which, you know, if it was 55 degrees and not windy, that wouldn't be too bad, but the wind has picked up. Be a free kick for Farmington after the infraction from Mountain Home. This bounce goes right to the net. Davis settles this one down. As she sends this one down to the 50-yard line. Ball's down the near sideline. Again, we apologize. The near sideline is cut off by the edge of the football bleachers. As this will go out of bounds, Dotson was in pursuit. She couldn't get there in time. 35.5 minutes to go. Blackwell launches it toward the net. Nobody was there. About a step behind was Nikita. Be a goal kick for Farmington. This just goes straight in the air. It would have had more distance, but the wind picked it up and gave it some backspin. Henson will settle it down in play. Well, actually, no, she won't. Well, yeah, she will. It went out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for Mountain Home. Coming back to the far side. Now it's skipped back away. Farmington has a decent-looking opportunity here, but McLean just kicks that one back. That was Dettelbach. Abby Dettelbach's had a good string of games lately. I think she's up to, she's got 6 goals so far this year, 5 or 6 goals. She's had a lot of good games, not just putting the ball in the net, but she's done a lot of other really good things for this Lady Bomber Soccer Club. Going back the other way, Jocelyn Hill forces this one ahead. Lady Bombers have numbers. Now they'll get to the near side to a sprinting Bella Dotson. Dotson will try to skip this one to Medley, or not Medley. That is Lily Hinson over the near side. Medley's on the far side. Of course, a couple Lady Bomber basketball players seeing either their first or second game action. You have Whitten Coleman, Lauren Rawls, Addison Ferris, and Tay Chairs. A couple dual sport athletes. Unless I've missed it, I don't believe any of them have made an appearance in tonight's game. Of course, they could have been subbed in. We had a lot of substitutions there in the middle part of the first half, so they might have saw some playing time, but a lot of 2- and 3-sport athletes on this team. Both of the Medleys, they play volleyball as well. Kenna's a track athlete. I think both the Medleys are track athletes, but I know Kenna is for sure. Just trying to remember some other ones that we have. And Kelsey Blackwell's a tennis player. I believe Kate Vandersteck is as well. Dee Dee's a cheerleader. Great job with our cheerleading squad. Jaden Davis came out for volleyball this year. I'm just trying to remember. There's going to be some that I forget. But there's a lot of 2- and 3-sport athletes littered throughout our spring programs. You have a lot of Bomber basketball players that also play baseball, or a small handful that play soccer. Some of them are heading off to spring football. I know Gus Wilbur and Colin Copeland making their way as Lily Hinson trying to fight for position. She had a step on her girl, but she took a weird angle, or she didn't take a weird angle. She was forced off the ball, so she'll corral this one. But as this was knocked out, it'll be a corner kick for Mountain Home. So Nikita will take this corner kick. She'll set up on the far corner. Kicks away. It will go to the front of that. What a grab by the goalie of Farmington. He grabbed and just palmed it out of the air and brought it down one-handed. So great job by them, as had a game ball get loose on the far side. They kicked it away before that kick went off. That would have been something if they added another ball out there. Start playing with a second or a third soccer ball out there. This one's scooped up by Davis. Davis sliding down like she's a shortstop, stopping that one. This one is kicked. Good kick by Davis. This is settled down by Jocelyn Hill. Mountain Home trying to take the lead here. They've possessed the ball for a large majority of this second half. Of course, we're only 10 minutes into the half. As this is fought for down the sideline, Blackwell's going to keep it in bounds. They will get it down to Dotson. Dotson will give it back to Blackwell. She'll launch it into the stands. So actually, it bounced off of a Cardinal that was near the sideline, and they're in no particular hurry to get her a ball. So actually, it's going to be a free kick. They're going to say it was a handball. So when Blackwell launched it out of bounds, it hit off the hand of a Cardinal. So Kelsey will kick this one away. It's a decent-looking kick right down to Hinson, who was onside, but it goes out of bounds. So Hinson was just a step behind. Otherwise, she would have had a golden opportunity to try to give the Lady Bombers the lead. Kicks away from Farmington as we're under 30 minutes to go now. 29.5 to be exact. Again, there is no overtime. There is no stoppage time. There is no PKs in regular season soccer. It's very interesting how they do that. It used to be when you went to overtime in non-conference, it'd just be a tie. But then if you went to overtime in conference play, you go to PKs. But now they don't do that anymore. They went to the Premier League point system. So I want to say it's no points for a loss, and then it is 1 point for a tie, and I can't remember if it's 2 points for a win or 3 points for a win. I want to say it's 2 points for, no, it's 3 points for a win. That's what it is. As Henson now has the ball. Henson's got a decent angle at this. It went a little too far ahead of her as she was slightly displaced from behind as she couldn't get to this one. So another good opportunity. Again, the Lady Bombers have had good opportunities all night. Just hadn't cashed in. So 1-1 our score, 28.5 minutes to go. A couple substitutions coming on for Farmington. I tell you how deep their bench is, but their bench is up against the wall here on the near sideline. Coach Biggs leading the charge over there. Likes both his teams. Likes his boys, likes his girls. Thinks they can make a decent amount of noise in the 4A West. Sent back to the left side. Now it'll be, I thought it was going to be out of bounds, but there was someone there from Farmington waiting for it. Goes back to the far end. Now centered back to a Lady Cardinal. So those of you, if you want to mark your calendars for our spring broadcast schedule, we'll go through that here shortly as we see how this attack will end up, as it will go out of bounds and be a throw-in on the far side. So we'll have a couple road broadcasts of Lady Bomber and Bomber soccer. We'll have 4 to be exact in the regular season. Tonight was the first one. Second one will be next week as we'll head to Van Buren. The 16th of April, we'll head to Harrison, give you both of the varsity contests there. As this is centered down the 18-yard box, this is dangerous right now as Mountain Home might have got away with a handball. Actually, it's going to be a penalty kick. She did not get away with it. It was a handball in the box, so the clock will stop, or it's supposed to stop, with 26 minutes and 34 seconds. I knew that. I was kind of hoping that they wouldn't catch that, but it is going to be a penalty kick. Mountain Home defender touched the ball with her hand in the box, and that's a big no-no. So Farmington will have a golden opportunity to take the lead here. Kick is away, and it's in the net. So it's 2-1 now. Farmington has taken the lead. Fairly decent crowd on hand tonight, making some noise. And the final broadcast, by the way, we will be at Greenwood on April 26th. So Mountain Home finds himself now at a deficit, trying to come back just to tie it. As this one's away, Mountain Home now down 2-1. Farmington pushing ahead. This is another good-looking attack right now. Makes a girl miss. As this is finally cleared out. Mountain Home trying to find the equalizer. As it's centered back to Blackwell. As she'll launch this out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Farmington. Actually, it's going to stay in bounds. The wind caught it, brought it down. I for sure it would be out of bounds. Mountain Home on the counterattack. Good through ball to Hinson. Hinson's got a step on the back of the defense. She's onside, and it's in the goal! Lily Hinson has tied the ball game with 25-16 remaining. So just like that, Lily Hinson has her second goal of the night, and Farmington's lead lasts all of 56 seconds. Well, how about that for an equalizer? 25 minutes and some change left in this one, and we have a brand new ball game. Farmington kicks this one away. So now the momentum is swung. Now it'll come back this way as that was settled down by Lauren Rawls making an appearance tonight. Had not seen her unless she's been on the far side. She's substituted at left back. Looks like, I believe it's left back. She's on the left side of the offense as this is centered back towards the middle. Tried to get it to Hill, but it was knocked away by Farmington. Blackwell corrals this one, and she will send it to the far side. I believe that's Kendra Medley. Now it skipped ahead as it took a wonky bounce, but it came down to a Cardinal. But it's launched out of bounds off the retaining wall, and it'll be a throw-in for Mountain Home in favorable field position. Well, my, how the turntables in this one as the Lady Bombers found themselves down 2-1 off a penalty kick. They respond right back immediately. As we'll have a whistle and a substitution. Those of you that watched The Office will appreciate that reference. Comes Jocelyn Hill, tried to fit it down to Rawls on the near side, but it was broken up. Comes back down this way, and it's knocked out of bounds. Oh, they're going to say Hill knocked it out. As Jocelyn looked like she kicked it off a Lady Cardinal, but the officials thought otherwise. They pay them to officiate. It's their calls, so there's not much we can do up here. There's no video replay, so it'll be a throw for Mountain Home. Rawls will throw it in as it's bounced back to the middle, and we have an illegal throw-in. Ball never cleared Lauren's, the crown of her head. So it'll be a free kick for the Cardinals. Another throw-in coming in now. Down to about 22 minutes left in this one. Mountain Home has tied the game, and we'll have a whistle and an infraction against Mountain Home. It'll be a free kick for Farmington. Again, it's like I mentioned earlier off that, as this will get settled down by Davis. If you get Lily Hinson going in a straight line, there's not going to be many girls that can keep up or outrun her. And that was just a display of speed. Dettelbach will get it down to Hinson. Hinson trying to make a girl miss. Got it knocked away. It will roll out of bounds and will stay with Mountain Home. As this will get knocked away, Mountain Home will keep it again. It'll be about at the 36-yard line. Again, hard to see with the edge of the bleachers covering the sideline here. Now, football is unimpeded, but the sideline extends about 15 yards past the sideline in football. I don't know the exact measurement, but just eyeballing it. As this is a throw in for Mountain Home. Martinez threw it in, tried to get it down to Rawls. Throw in for Farmington. Now they get it to their side of the field. Dede's going to give it back. Jocelyn Hill's going to punch it the other way. Here comes Dettelbach. Dettelbach gets it back to her. She gets it set back to herself. Tried to give it to Blackwell, but the wind almost settled it down. Now here's Medley. Medley looking. Gets it to the far sideline. Now it's brought back the other way. Broken up by Farmington. Now Farmington on the counterattack. Ball skip back to the far side, and this will go out of bounds. Last touch by Mountain Home. Farmington will throw in as we're at the halfway mark of this second half of action here. This one will roll out of bounds and be a throw-in for Mountain Home at about the 5-yard line, or even with the football 5-yard line. It's really about 15 yards away from the goal. I'm trying to get it out of their own third. They do. They give it down to Dettelbach. Dettelbach tried to tap it down to Rawls, but it was broken up. There was a Lady Cardinal waiting for that one. Good job by Hill to break that one up. Didn't even touch the girl from Farmington. Now this one's launched toward the goal, and it goes through the football uprights about 15, 20 feet up, and it'll be a harmless goal kick for Jaden Davis. A lot of goals tonight. So far there's been a total of 10 goals between, actually if you count the JV game, there's 13 goals tonight. An offensive explosion here in Farmington. Davis's kick is away. It will get settled down by Martinez, or Martinez lost the handle of it, and it will go out of bounds and be a throw-in for Mountain Home. Farmington sideline wanting, they're going to give it back to Farmington. I was like, I thought that was off of us, but Farmington will throw in. It's bounced away, and it's kept in play. It's going to go. They said it was going to go out of bounds. It did go out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Mountain Home. Nikita Brunette, it's going to be a free kick. Okay, I see what he see. Called a handball. It went off the hand of a Lady Cardinal, and for this free kick, they're going to make this defender back up at least 10 yards away from where the free kick is, as Hill settles this one down. Bella Dotson brings it back to the far side. It's centered, picked up by a Lady Cardinal. Dotson comes up with it once again, as it was last touched by Farmington. Dotson will throw in, and a whistle, and I don't know why they gave it to Farmington. It was last touched by a Cardinal, but again, I'm not the official. As we'll have a substitution now. A couple Lady Cardinals coming into the game now. This one is scooped to the far side. Mountain Home with possession of the ball once again. Mountain Home on the run through the middle of the field. Back out to Medley. Medley trying to cross, try to find someone. It's brought down by the keeper of Farmington. Good job by her. She's done an outstanding job. I wish I knew her name, but the rosters on SB Live and their athletic website do not have numbers. That's a bit of a uh-oh. And there was not a roster available up here. And I don't mean to throw my buddy Coach Biggs under the bus here, but I did text him and email him asking, hey, can you send me a roster? But he's a busy man. They're preparing, for the start of their soccer season, which is tonight, and then he's also the boys' lead assistant here, Mountain Home alumni Ian Biggs. He's also the boys' basketball lead assistant as they're preparing to play their first boys' state title game in school history. I'm just messing with him, so if he goes back and watches this. This will be a throw-in for Farmington on the far side. Still 2-2 our score, 15.5 to go here. As there's a Lady Cardinal down. I believe she's cramping up. Yeah, just the way she fell. Looks like she's cramping up. As the official will work his way over there. As they're going to stop the clock to get her looked at. Try to preserve some time here. So while we have a moment here, we will show you our road broadcast schedule for soccer games this year. We'll show all of our home games on the Huddle Focus. There will be no announcing with that. We'll have the stadium announcer, whether it's myself, Dylan Conley, or Mike Breton, that we've got out of retirement to do some games. But our next broadcast will be next week. It'll be next Thursday as we'll go to Van Buren, take on the Pointers. And then about a month after that, on the 16th, will be a Tuesday night. It will be the Mountain Home Bombers taking on the Harrison Goblins in our big rivalry game. And then a week and a half after that, we'll be heading the road to Greenwood. So we have the shortest road trip and two of the longer ones covered for you. So if you're not able to make it down there, we'll have you covered. We'll show while they're still attending to the young lady on the far end. Let's see. Tell you our other broadcasts that we'll have for you on the road at least. Let's see. We'll have a softball broadcast for you this week as the Lady Bomber softball team will head to Springdale for a 6A West opponent as the official will resume play here shortly. On April 12th, we will be at Paragould bringing you that game. We will be at Wynn on the 18th, and then we will have their last home game of the year, or last road game of the year, as they will take on Alba in a conference doubleheader. Last 2 years, that doubleheader has decided whether or not the Lady Bombers go to state. Hopefully it doesn't come down to that. Hopefully we have that in check by then, but, who doesn't love a little excitement? And then in baseball, we will have the varsity doubleheader April the 9th against Russellville. That's a good conference game. Then we will hit the road to West Plains on the 20th, as we'll have the doubleheader with Branson and West Plains. That'll take place across the border in Missouri. And then we will have Alma for you here. We'll have the second game of that because we have figured that both the softball games will be done by the time the baseball game is done, or by the time the second game starts. And the other thing that we're going to attempt to do, all conference games at home in baseball, softball will be broadcasted. So trying to iron out some details. May have a broadcaster, may not. If it doesn't, it will just be the ambient sounds of Freedom Field and McLean Park. Of Freedom and Pittsfield, at McLean Park. As we're at the 14-minute mark now. Be a goal kick for Farmington. As this one is settled down by a Lady Cardinal. Lady Bombers starting to push their middle line over more, or up. Same with their back line. They're trying to win this game outright. They're trying to win it on the field, as Stanford Steve says on ESPN, trying to win it on the field. Another big thing that the Doc Brad Coleman, miss him during basketball and football season, text me. He's watching at home, seeing if his daughter Witten gets in the game. But Farmington will be a 5A West team next year. They're moving up. They're moving on up. They will be in the West. Still to be determined where Mountain Home ends up. Football, they're heading west. Volleyball, they're heading east. And all this will be decided at the completion of the individual sports state finals game. They have to figure out where to place all the teams and get all the multipliers straightened out for the private schools. But we'll let all the people at AAA figure that one out, and we'll go where they tell us to go. If they tell us go east, we'll go east. If they tell us go west, we'll go west. If whatever reason they tell us to go south, then we'll have some questions. If we end up having to play El Dorado and Texarkana and all the hot spring schools in a conference basketball game. As this free kick is away, it will go to the far side. Realistically, you could see Mountain Home go really east or west. Outside chance they could go central, because it's not like anybody in the central is too far. It's very Little Rock-centric. I would say that's less than a 1% of 1% chance of that happening, though. Farmington on the attack now. Makes a girl miss. Goes through the shins of Didi Martinez, but it'll go out of bounds. It'll stay with Farmington. It'll be a throw-in. Getting down to the nitty-gritty of this one. Again, if there is no more scoring in the next 11 and a half minutes, this will just end in a tie. I mentioned earlier, the old overtime rules used to be if it was non-conference, just ends in a tie. Conference play, you go to penalty kicks. And, they since changed it. They got rid of penalty kicks in the regular season. But I think it's one of the dumber ways to set up overtime in the state tournament is you play 2 15-minute periods. It's golden goal. As this is launched toward the net, it goes wide. So it's 2 golden goal periods, meaning if anyone scores in that first, it's treated as 2 halves. If anyone scores in either of those periods, the game's over, which, that's cool. And then you go to PKs. But even when you just went to overtime and played PKs, you didn't play this format. So I remember seeing, I can't remember what year it was. It was the year we only had one senior, but our junior class was Caitlin Jones, Katie Dunn, who else was there? Sydney Blevins, Anna Helmer was a freshman. We watched that state final against Siloam, and they played an extra 30 minutes of soccer. They played 110 total minutes of soccer, then they played a skills contest to determine the state champion. I mean, once you get down to PKs, it's that's where it becomes about who the better team is. It just talks about who the more skilled players at PKs are. It would be like if we played a basketball game and I was playing against Shaquille O'Neal. Well, Shaquille O'Neal would beat me 100-0, but if it came down to a free throw contest, then Shaq could lose. And that's where it's caught the ire of many people across the state and across the country and soccer, across the world even, because they've determined World Cups based on penalty kick contest or penalty kicks. I mean, if you have a lesser talented team that could just defend, but you have 5 people that can really take a penalty kick and are really good at it, then you could win a ball game that way. So this will be thrown in by Farmington. 8.5 minutes to go, or 8:50 to go, excuse me. Lady Bombers trying to launch another attack. Martinez will launch this one forward. It had some weird spin. Now Jocelyn Hill will come up with it. Makes a girl miss. Jocelyn will get it down to Bella Dotson. Bella's going to push it, try to center it back over the middle, and they're wanting a foul. And Bella had her around the neck. They didn't call anything. The sideline, the officials telling the Farmington sideline to put a sock in it and quit yapping. But I think really the main issue was, Ian had an issue with that call or lack of call, but I think the fact that the entire bench just lit up, I think that was the issue that the center official had. Not that Biggs was John or, normally officials don't have an issue if it's the head coach John, but if the entire bench lights up, that's where they tend to have issues. But comes Lily Hinson. Lily's trying to turn on the Jets again, now in the middle of the field. She'll come back this way, making a couple girls miss. Now brings it back to the center of the field. Had this one knocked away, and it will be Mountain home ball to be a throw-in. It'll be in the red zone in football, as this is going to be thrown in about even with the 15 or the 20-yard line. It's hard to tell where that sideline is. Looks like they're working it further to the left, so about the 10 now. As they get it into the left side of the 18-yard box. This one's skied in the air. This will come down and take a Farmington bounce and will go out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Mountain Home. Substitution for Mountain Home. Some new players coming in now. Lauren Rawls will re-enter the ball game. Jocelyn Hill waiting for this one. Skips it back to the middle to Kelsey Blackwell. Blackwell looking. Now comes back to this side. Farmington trying to run along the sideline, make something happen. As it skipped back the other way, Mountain Home in pursuit of this one. Rawls trying to get to it. It will not get to it. Will be a throw-in for Farmington with 6 minutes and some change left in this one. Coming back now is Rawls. Rawls will punch it back to the far side. Here's Blackwell. Held down by Dettelbach. Try to get it to Rawls. It'll go out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Farmington. Farmington getting it in quickly. It will scoop back to the middle. It's broken up by Burnett. Broken up again by Burnett. Rawls comes up with it. Now they'll come back the other way as she is tripped up. And the official going to his pocket brings out a yellow card. So the clock should have stopped, but it's a very quick booking. So it is a yellow card for Farmington. It's the first card of the game, third card of the night. There were two given out in the boys' game. So Nikita Burnett will kick this free kick, or take this free kick, I guess, whichever sounds right. Good booming kick as it go to the edge of the 18-yard box. Nobody back there behind. Rawls in pursuit, but she had to pull up. It was scooped up by the goalie with under 5 to go now. High arcing kick headed by Hinson. Brought down by Medley. Medley in pursuit on the far side. They settle it back down to Blackwell. Blackwell launches this one ahead. Tried to get it ahead to Hinson. Hinson actually comes down with it. Now she's trying to cross, trying to find somebody in front of the net. Is Dettelbach off the post? Rawls was there wide open in front of the net. Couldn't get it. It'll go out of bounds and be a throw-in for Mountain Home. Mountain Home still has some pretty decent numbers as it's broken up by Farmington. Hill's going to send it back in. It's broken up. It comes back out, and it'll be a throw-in for Mountain Home. Whew. Two good looks at this one to try to break the tie for Mountain Home as we're under 3:50 to go. Dettelbach had a very good look. It went off the post. This one's centering, goes back to Dettelbach. She's trying to cross it, still gets through there. I don't know how she keeps getting back to it as this is launched toward the net. It's scooped up by the keeper, but it hit off the post, off the woodworking, and it came right down in front. I want to say it was to Lauren Rawls, and Lauren was right there, or whoever it was, and just mistimed it and missed it. So a golden opportunity for the Lady Bombers is all for naught. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. 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 2 Farmington will throw in. 3 minutes to go in this one. Nobody scores in those 3 minutes. The game's over. It's a tie. Going back this way is Hinson. Hinson with a full head of steam, trying to make someone miss. She's going to corral this one in front of the corner flag. Actually, it's going to be it will be a corner kick, as Coach King is not pleased about something. He is screaming at the official. He's wanting a foul call, and Coach King, I don't blame him. Skylar picked up a yellow card. I saw what happened behind, and I don't blame Skylar one bit. Now he's gonna walk very far away from the edge of the bench as this corner goes to the middle of the 18-yard box, settled down by Hill, right to the hands of the keeper. Yeah, Skylar should have got a yellow card. Yeah, he needed that one. It's almost like a coach getting a technical in basketball. It was one of those situations he had to get it. But I'm not joking. Coach King was at the numbers, jawing at this center official. Now the Farmington faithful not appreciating a call, so this middle official not making too many friends here. He's somehow made both sides just unhappy in the last 5 minutes, as they're wanting another foul called, and I think that should have been one. Girl from Farmington took a shove to the back. Blackwell launches this one. This one will go right to the chest of the keeper of Farmington. Hey, well, Mountain Homes had a heap of opportunities here. They just haven't been able to cash in, and really it was only a small handful that Farmington's had. They've cashed in on 2 of them. I'd say they've had about 3, and they've cashed in on 2 of them. Mountain Homes had probably about 10. The good thing is this is non-conference. So regardless of the outcome, you're just trying to get better. So you want to win, of course, but as we're under a minute to go now, Kelsey Blackwell with the ball. Now they bring it back. Farmington gets on it. As Blackwell's taken out, as we're going to have, it's at least a yellow card. It will be. As things getting really chippy now, as the clock is not stopped. The clock's supposed to stop, is still not stopped, as we're under 30 seconds to go now. Burnett's going to line up for the free kick. Niceda's ready to take this one. 20 seconds to go now. Anytime you get a card, it's supposed to stop, but it didn't there. As this is set to the middle of the 18-yard box, Rawls was in pursuit. She couldn't get to it. Down to 10 seconds. Down to 8, down to 7. This one's kicked away. Mountain Home could launch once more attack. Down to 2, down to 1, and that's going to do it. So the Lady Bombers come to Farmington and get a 2-2 draw here in non-conference, as they will welcome Siloam Springs to town on Thursday. So Lady Bombers do get 2 goals from Lily Hinson, but they get none more, and Farmington gets 1 off a penalty kick and 1 off a set piece. So that's all she wrote from Farmington. So again, the final score, Mountain Home ties 2-2 against Farmington. It will be back in action Thursday night. The JV game will be at 4, and the varsity games will be at 5 and 7. Bomber boys were victorious 4-2, and the JV boys were victorious 2-1. So that's going to do it for our coverage from Farmington. We're going to hit the road and get back home again. 48 hours, we will have Lady Bomber and Bomber soccer for you at home for conference games. On behalf of the Mountain Home School District, this is Dylan Conley wishing you a good rest of your evening. We hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. We will see you home Thursday for some Bomber soccer and back on the airwaves for you on the Bomber Sports Network on Friday for 1 game against the Springdale Bulldogs. Again, this has been Lady Bomber Soccer and Bomber Soccer on the Bomber Sports Network.